Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Having technical difficulties today. I don't know what's going on with YouTube today, but man, it was pretty hard to get the stream going. Everybody hit that like button for me as y'all come in, man. Testing everything out, make sure everything's working. Drop me a comment, let me know y'all can hear me. Got some big news, man. Big news coming out today, man. Huge news. I don't know what was going on with the audio there. Tried to start it up once and it was really choppy. Tried to start it up again and it was even worse than the first time. So I just reset my computer and reset the audio. So now everything's working good. Sounds good, I hope. Got two people in here. Appreciate y'all for them likes, man. Appreciate y'all. So I wanted to get into this topic for today. Manny Pacquiao finally came out with what I think is part of his big announcement and let us know who he's targeting. I don't think that's the only fight that he's going after at this point, but I do feel like that's what he's targeting at the moment. And the big name, which I let everybody know about a week ago, is Terence Crawford. But he not only said that he was aiming for that Crawford fight, but that he's already offered him $10 million basically, and Pacquiao will get $40 million, so it would be a $50 million purse. It's got to be, due to I would say Arab interest into the fight and them maybe wanting to back the fight and put it in overseas in Dubai possibly. So this is really good news if you're a Pacquiao fan, man. Is Terence Crawford and Bob Arum going to accept this fight? Are they going to roll with this fight? We don't know yet, man. But y'all know me. I'm always into the articles and everything. So I wanted to touch on a few articles that had came out and give you guys the first-hand news of what's going on with Terence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. As you come in, hit that like button for me. I hope you guys are subscribed. Drop me a comment. Let me know who all's in here. How's everybody doing for today? And we can go ahead and get started, man. Good to see y'all, man. Finally got everything rolling. Don't know what was going on at first, but finally got everything rolling. I give a few more seconds, see if anybody else jumps in, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started, man. Big news, bro. Big news. I knew something was coming down the pike, and I knew it wouldn't take long for Pacquiao to go ahead and announce what was going on with him. But I didn't think it was going to be this big and this fast. This is huge news because this kind of like implicates a lot of things when it comes to the next year of boxing, man, and the welterweight division as a whole. So we got 7 people in here right now. I guess I can go ahead and get started. Appreciate all 7 of y'all for coming through and hitting that like button for me. All right, man. According to the Daily Tribute, Pacquiao, give me Crawford. That's the name of the article. Pacquiao wants this fight, man. Ain't no ducking, dipping, or dodging going on. What did Biden say? We ain't gonna dilly or dally with this one. We gonna get it. I will fight anybody. You know me. I don't back away from any challenge. Bring them on. So Pacquiao's ready to go. Let's get it. Yeah, this just shocked the boxing world. Bobby Rick, Sean Kane, let's get it, man. Let's go, man. It's time, man. Ain't no more BS going on right now. It's get it or quit it right now. And y'all know what I said yesterday about Bob Arum and Top Rank and the belts. So this is gonna show and prove who's really, some people say ducking, dodging, or who really want. To me, is who really wants to fight, man. Who's really ready to go. Let's get into this article. Manny Pacquiao isn't running away from a fight. Pushing 43, Pacquiao would rather lock horns with Terence Crawford, the World Boxing Organization welterweight king, or Earl Spence, the World Boxing Council, WBC, and IBF, International Boxing Federation ruler. Pacquiao told Daily Tribute as he is reeling from being stripped of the title by the WBA, the World Boxing Association. Pacquiao also mentioned the name of Mikey Garcia as one of the candidates, but the Mexican American banger seems to be the last in the pecking order, given the Filipino 8 division champion's desire to win a world crown. So I think he's going for Crawford or Spence, and that's it. I think those are the only two names. I don't think he's seeking a tune-up. Don't think he cares about that WBA belt anymore. I think if he unifies just those 4 titles, I think that would be enough for him. And personally, I'm happy he's taking the challenge, man. I would rather him not fight both guys, but if he's planning on fighting twice, and he feels like he has enough left in the tank to beat both of those guys, which I think he does, more power to Manny Pacquiao, man. This is a really exciting times if you're a Pacquiao fan. Pacquiao is salivating over the prospect of getting it on with Crawford, his first choice as foe. So, it's not like he's saying, hey, I want to fight Mikey, or I want to fight you guys, or I want to fight Porter. He's saying, hey, it's either Crawford or Thurman or nobody. If Crawford doesn't take this fight, who's ducking? Like, come on, $10 million in Dubai. I mean, Bobby Rick, you can't say no more, man. If he don't take this fight, it says a lot about Terence Crawford and Bob Arum, and the fact that both of these guys, I mean, it's all on the table. Y'all think he's old. Y'all think he's washed up. $10 million is twice what you've made in your career for any fight. I think that's more than it'll be double what he's made in any fight. And he's definitely not going to make that with Errol Spence. He's not going to make that with anybody else he tries to face up with. And Pacquiao is definitely worth the $40 million. He's taken 2 pay cuts in his last 2 fights. When he fought Thurman, when he fought Adrian Broner. So it's time for Pacquiao to get his, man. It's time for him to be able to. I don't consider this a cash out fight, but I do consider this a big money fight. He's bringing the money back into the sport of boxing. Bobby Rick, Crawford has a chance to become a global superstar overnight. It's bigger than money at this point. This all-in legacy on the line. Sean McCain, Spence is a much harder fight for Pacquiao. Pac stops Crawford in 9 rounds. I could see Pacquiao giving Crawford some real trouble, man. Some real trouble, because Crawford's never faced this type of opponent. Pacquiao's not, he's definitely not similar to anybody he's ever fought, because he's never fought anybody of this caliber. So I totally agree with you, man. I don't know if he stops him in 9 rounds, but I definitely think he wins the fight. I don't, what round he could potentially hurt him in. It could be the first round. We saw him hurt Keith Thurman in the very first round. It didn't take 9 rounds from the hurt Thurman. So I'm not sure. I just can't wait to see what's going to be officially announced as Pacquiao's next fight. Something's got to be already in the works and pretty much set up for him to come out and even put that bit of news out there that he's already offered him $10 million. Because boy, oh boy, did he just throw the ball all into Terence Crawford's court, man. Because if they don't take this fight, then what? Then what do you have to say about Terence Crawford? Bobby Rick, Crawford chin suspect to me. Sean McCain, true. Hey, I don't think his chin's ever been tested to a caliber of a Manny Pacquiao. I don't know who you could compare him to, man, when it comes to the fighters he's fought. I mean, definitely not Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn's definitely not on Manny Pacquiao's level. But who else could you compare as an opponent for Crawford to Manny Pacquiao? And it's going to be very interesting to see, man. Pacquiao got something big up his sleeve for us, man. Definitely, I think he's probably been training really hard in the Philippines behind the scenes. and he's got to be already ready to go, you know. So if for him to put this out there, man, it's a shocker to me that he offered him $10 million, and it's a shocker that they got 40 million to put up for Pacquiao. I mean, 40 million to put up for Pacquiao. That's very interesting that he's able to secure that type of deal. What's going on over in Dubai and overseas? I don't know, man. Where are they coming up with this type of money? Uh, uh, Crip, where do you put Pac in the all-time list if he wins against Crawford? If he beats Crawford and Spence, I would have to say he's already top five in my list. But if he beat Crawford and Spence, he's definitely top two. If he beat Crawford and Spence and then decided I'm gonna fight Golovkin as a huge cash out fight, which these fights right here are already gonna be. If he's getting 40 for Crawford, he definitely can get 50 or 60 for Spence. And if he can get 50 or 60 for Spence, he can definitely get 70 or 80 for fighting Golovkin. So huge numbers that could possibly be thrown around. But if you ask me if he beats both of those guys, I'll put him top. I'll put him either one or two behind Ali. He would be right up there with Ali to me. Let's move on in this article. Apparently, Crawford's promoter, top-ranked chief Bob Arum, has already been told about the magic numbers. We told Bob I get 40 million and Crawford gets 10 million, said Pacquiao, whose last fight was a stunner win over Keith Thurman in July 2019 in Las Vegas. Pacquiao swears he feels great despite the inactivity and that he doesn't believe his age will play a factor. So, like I said, man, he obviously knows something about. He's either been sparring with some people behind the scenes, or he's just been staying really active in the Philippines. You know, he has these new fighters under his MP promotion, so there's no telling who he's been sparring with over in the Philippines, getting being active and getting prepared for this potential fight. Let's see. Pacquiao reveals he weighs about 152 labs, something that is just a bit north of welterweight division limit 147. A few days ago, Paradigm Sports, a management outfit owned and operated by Adi Attar, issued a notice saying a development is forthcoming. Pacquiao likewise backed up. Hold on, I lost the place. Okay, backed up Paradigm Sports announcement, adding that something big is being cooked up relative to his much-awaited return to the ring. Now, I've been telling y'all that they already said that Al Heyman and PBC were working with Pacquiao to put together a huge card with his name headlining it. So all of this is just confirming what I was reading a few videos ago. Crawford and Spence are both unbeaten. Nebraska's Crawford, 33 years old, is 37-0 with 28 KOs, while Texas Earl Spence, 30, is 27-0 with 21 knockouts. Garcia of California, also 33, is 40-1 with 30 KOs. And it's the only one who doesn't have a world title at the moment. So I doubt it's going to be Danny. I seriously doubt it's going to be Danny. But hey, he might pick Danny. But why would you offer Danny, $10 million to fight you when he just lost to Spence and he doesn't hold a title? So I don't know why they even mentioned Danny Garcia. Let's move on. Garcia, about the same height as Pacquiao at 5'6", is the least formidable of the trio. Crawford, who stands 5'8", is a switch hitter, a puncher who can box from both the orthodox right hand or the southpaw stance. Spence, the tallest at nearly 5'10", is also a formidable sound like Crawford, but fights from a long range. Still Pacquiao, who sports 62-7-2 mark with 39 knockouts, doesn't mind who he eventually gets to share the ring with in a bout, being penciled for 15th May in Dubai. Now, I told you I was going down in May. And all this is going towards what I've been saying, man, because I've been reading a lot of articles. I don't know about May 15th. I would say more May 1st, around that Derby date. But I think it might be pushed back just a little bit due to what's going on in the world. But definitely be looking for this fight, whoever he fights, to happen in May. They're saying May 15th in Dubai. It might be a reason they're going after that 15th date, since they're going to do it overseas. Let's move on in this article. I will fight anybody. You know me. I don't back away from any challenge. Bring them on. Alright, so that's the end of the article, man. That first article I wanted to touch on. What do y'all think about that so far? Let's get to these comments. Bobby Rick, they must have a big investors in Dubai for this fight. Don't forget, he has the same management team as McGregor now. Yeah, Adi Attar, he might be the one putting up the money himself. You know, with everything that's been going on with Mikey, he might have already offered Pacquiao this money a long time ago, which is the reason Pacquiao's just been sitting back and waiting for the right time to announce this. Sean McCann says it's either Terence or Mikey. I don't see Mikey at all happening, man, to tell you the truth. I don't see Mikey even being in the talks. I think Mikey's too out of shape, and I think Pacquiao's going for legacy. So it's either going to be Terence or Spence. It'll either be Terence, Spence, or Triple G. If he can't get those two guys to agree, I think he would offer Triple G that $10 million, and I don't see why Triple G would turn it down. Or he might even go down to $30 million and offer Triple G $20 million or $15 million. He takes $35 million. So I would lean more towards those three fights, simply because the money that they're talking. I don't think Mikey Garcia is anywhere near that type of talent level or commanding that type of dollar sign. Pac says, "What's up? What's up with you, bro? Good to see you, man. Glad you came through, man. Big news going on." Sean McCann says, "I see today Sean Porter turned down $2 million to fight Terence Crawford. Interesting." So if he's not gonna fight him, definitely be looking for this fight to happen, man. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. I had another article I wanted to touch on, man. So we finished that article, and there was another article that came out. Manny Pacquiao wants $40 million to fight Terence Crawford. And this is Now Boxing. Boxing's only 8-division world champ, Manny Pacquiao, breaks his silence on who he would like to fight next, and it's not budding lightweight star Ryan Garcia. The Filipino icon name has been tossed around social media by unbeaten Ryan Garcia lightweight prospect. Garcia claimed that his next opponent would be the 42-year-old Pacquiao. He said it wouldn't be an exhibition. Many boxing fans felt this was nothing more than a ploy by Garcia to get his name out there and media attention, which I've said that a couple of times as well. Eric Gomez of Golden Boy Promotion shot down the idea of Garcia fighting Pacquiao and said it wouldn't happen and he would rather see Garcia with undisputed lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez, which is my same. Why not go after Teofimo? He's got a big name right now. You wouldn't get Pacquiao numbers or dollar signs, but you would get some huge dollar signs. And it would be a credible win if Garcia could beat him. Pacquiao, who has stayed silent on the rumors, finally spoke out to Nick Gianni, the Daily Tribune, PH, I guess the Daily Tribune Philippines, and told the Filipino journalist that his first choice would be unbeaten American WBO champion Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao posed for a photo. I know y'all can't see it, but it has to be recent because it has to be a recent photo, man. The Filipino Southpaw wants to fight someone with a belt since the WBA stripped him of his title, making him a champion in recess due to inactivity, and elevated the regular champion Eugenius Ugas to super status. Pacquiao and Crawford were close to fight in Qatar, but the Minister of Health nixed the idea due to C-19. The restrictions on audience attendance. The shocking part of the interview is the mention damage, the monetary damage Pacquiao gave to top-ranked promoter Bob Arum in order for the Crawford fight to go through. We told Bob, I get 40 and Crawford gets 10 million, Pacquiao revealed to the Daily Tribune during these trying times of the coronavirus pandemic. 40 million payday is extremely hard to come by without a huge live gate and enough financial backing. Unless they can find some investors with deep pockets, Pacquiao versus Crawford will have to do extremely well on pay-per-view for Arum to even accept the high purse demand by Pacquiao, which is very true. Bob Arum is going to have to come up with some of this money, but obviously, I would say Pacquiao's backers, whoever's backing Atar, they obviously have already probably come up with Pacquiao's half of the money. So I wouldn't be surprised if this man actually takes place. I think they're just going to ask Bob Arum probably to pay Crawford out of his pocket, and Manny Pacquiao's backers would back him out of their pocket. Pacquiao recently announced on Twitter page that he already begun training, and his manager Adi Atar and Paradigm Sports are working on a huge fight that they will announce soon. And that's the end of it, man. What do you guys think so far, man? Shane McCain, I seen today, Shane. Okay, I did that one. Pac-Man is barking and ready to bite Earl and Bud where you at. I'm ready to see this, man, to tell you the truth. Jen the second, who you got? Who you got, Jen the second? Let us know, man. Appreciate you for coming through, man. To be honest, I think the Spence fights are hard to fight, but I like the Bud fight just because I think Bud isn't tested, and I think Pacquiao will expose everything about Bud Crawford, man. I think this is the perfect fight for Pacquiao to come back as a tune-up for Spence. You know, if he's going to tune up for Spence, why not take on Crawford? You know, he's the perfect opponent and if he feels he can beat Crawford, he's the perfect opponent to tune up with against Spence. You know, he's the best fighter out there. He'll get another belt. You know, in the meantime, Spence can go fight you guys and get him a tune-up in, fight you guys, get that belt, and then it ends up being a unification fight at the end of the day. You know, if Pacquiao can get through Crawford, it's all setting up for that unification fight, man. And I think it's perfect timing. If Pacquiao has the backers and the money and the investors to go through with this, why not go through with it, man? And why not make it Bud Crawford, man, next? Pac says, damn, Bud, for tune-up big big balls. I mean, why not, man? As a tune-up for Spence, he's the perfect tune-up. Why not take on a huge challenge to take on an even huger challenge? You know, Albert Sardina, money and fame for Crawford. Exactly, man. It makes Crawford's name even huge if he accepts. If he wins, Crawford becomes the king, because the king of boxing. If he loses, you know, Uh, if he loses, there goes all his marbles, man, and all the marbles for top ranked boxing. They stand to go out of business if they lose that fight. When it comes to being welterweight, to making welterweight fights, Mark Anthony Pacquiao is ready for Spence and Crawford. I think he is too, man. I think he already has something in the works. I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about when it comes to Manny Pacquiao at this point. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for them to announce what's going to happen. Let me check, see if there are any new articles that came out here in the past 20 or 30 minutes. Y'all go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section, man. Okay, man. There's an article that just came out regarding Conor McGregor defeat at UFC cost Manny Pacquiao millions of dollars, but I'm not going to get into that one. So no new articles out so far yet announcing that the fight is a go. Let's see. Mark Anthony, it's a big payday for Crawford. It's a huge payday. It's double what he's gotten for any fight. Bobby Rick, Pac just got played a reverse Uno card on Crawford. Pacquiao just played a reverse Uno card. He's silly, man. Pac, if he loses, he will go back to the Omaha and never come back. Hey, man, he stands to lose a lot if he don't win that fight, man. His whole career is basically over. He can go to PBC and be a journeyman, but he's going to have to beat all the potential, all the prospects that PBC has for that at the welterweight division for him to even be considered for another title shot. You know, Spencer's not going to give him another title shot unless he can go through some of them guys that are lower prospects that PBC holds. Put the ball right in Crawford's backyard and said, "You gonna play or what?" Man, he just threw an alley-oop to himself and dunked on Crawford and asked him if he want to shoot, man. You know, what's going on, man? I cannot wait for this one, man. So, do y'all think Crawford's going to accept the challenge? Y'all think Crawford will accept the $10 million? It's the biggest payday he's ever gotten. It's up to Bob Arum right now to accept it and to say, I want to put up my portion of the money. Do y'all think Bob Arum is gonna play ball with Pacquiao? I think this fight, it has to be made at this point. And I feel like if that fight gets made, I definitely see the Spence you guys fight getting made and Spence and you guys fighting. And whoever wins that fight is going to end up taking on the winner of Pacquiao Crawford for the ultimate position in welterweight boxing. In my mind, I think it's all setting up for one big unification fight at the end of the summer. And hopefully that unification fight will be Pacquiao and Spence. Mark Anthony, if Pacquiao fight King Ryan Garcia, not good for boxing because Garcia is too young and not a legit champion. Garcia don't even hold no belts except for the one they gave to him. He's kind of like a paper champ like Yudanius you guys, unfortunately for you guys, because I feel like you guys is a pretty decent fighter, but I do feel like they gave him the belt and he didn't earn the belt, so you're a paper champion to me. You're not legitimate. And the same goes for Ryan Garcia. He's Instagram famous, but he's not boxing famous yet because he hasn't proven anything in a boxing ring. So it is what it is, man. I truly do believe this fight is going to happen, though. I think that they already, I think Spence and you guys have already worked it out behind the scenes to where they're going to fight. I feel like Pacquiao and Crawford are just working out the dollar signs. Maybe Pacquiao gets $35 million and Crawford gets $15 million, you know. I think that would be a better number because I think Crawford stands to lose a lot. I think Bob Arum might want to ensure that, you know, okay, Crawford gets 10 out of that, and maybe I get $5 million just in case Crawford loses. So you might see the dollar sign for Pacquiao come down a little bit when the fight is officially announced. Maybe $35, $30 million. just to stabilize it. I think he threw that big number out there to see if they're gonna bite. If Bob Arum and them are gonna bite, because 10 million is a big number for Crawford, but 15 million I think is what Bob Arum's counter offer might be. I always believe a great businessman is always gonna counter offer. So if they're offering him 10, he's gonna want 12 to 15 million for that fight. Bobby Rick. No, I got that one. Got Mark Anthony. I be back said Crawford 10 mil to lose to Pac. That's a good number. To lose, but if he loses, here's the problem. If he loses, that's his career, man. It's over. Because there's nobody else at top rank for him to fight. He's gonna have to leave Bob Arum. But you know what? I'm actually seeing it playing out like this, man. I don't think Terence Crawford is gonna be with Bob Arum too much longer anyway. So at the end of the day, this is a way for Bob Arum to cash out of the top of the welterweight business, because I don't think he's gonna be pursuing the welterweight business too much more in the near future. I think Terence Crawford is gonna be leaving once his contract's up. This is a great way for Bob Arum to get some big dollar signs, get another Pacquiao fight, get a big Crawford fight, and just cash out of the welterweight business before Terence Crawford ultimately leaves him anyway. The only way Crawford stays is if they get this fight with Pacquiao and Crawford knocks him out, and due to the big dollar signs that are going to be thrown at Crawford, I can see Crawford staying at Top Rank, because Top Rank's going to get all type of contracts and just humongous dollar signs thrown at him for that Spence fight. So it would depend on the outcome of the Pacquiao fight whether Crawford actually does stay with Bob Arum or not. To me, if he loses, it's over. It's over. Like they said, he's gonna be in hiding in Nebraska somewhere for a little while, and then he's gonna have to rethink his boxing career as far as him moving over to the PBC. Albert Saranya says it's a unified match, even Pacquiao no belt in real. He's a WBA champion. He's beat Thurman. I mean, he's still champion in recess, but he doesn't hold a title. He can always go and try to fight Yordanius, you guys, but I think he's not interested in that WBA title anymore. I think he feels like there's a better path if he goes through Terence Crawford than trying to go through you guys. Because if he goes through you guys, here's the problem. Then Spence and Crawford have to fight. Because if Spence and Crawford don't have to fight, he would then have to turn around and go fight Terence Crawford anyway, and then probably have to turn around and go fight Earl Spence too. So he would have had to fight three more fights. I think he's looking for 2 more fights, and these are both, like he said, legacy fights. If he beats Terence Crawford, boy, how much does that add to his legacy? Okay, and not only does it add to his legacy, but then he gets to turn around and challenge Earl Spence Jr. for his final fight of his career. And not only is it for the final fight of his career, but it's for all those belts. And I think he's fishing for something bigger with both of these fights. Because if he feels like he can beat Spence and Crawford, let's say he beats Spence and Crawford, what does that set up for? It sets up for Manny Pacquiao's ultimate goal, which is luring Floyd Mayweather out of retirement. Because if Manny Pacquiao gets his hands on all of those belts, what is it? 1, it'll be 4 belts. You can best believe Mayweather's coming out of retirement to fight Pacquiao again. It's only going to take for Pacquiao to get all 4 of those belts for Mayweather to come out and want to challenge him. So we could potentially get 3 Pacquiao fights if he beats both of those guys. Are they big ifs? They're huge ifs, but I think if it's one fighter who can pull it off, it's Pacquiao. But the Crawford fight, we got to get that Crawford fight signed and delivered first, man. Bobby Rick, Pac-Man wants his belt back that was stolen from him. He can get it, but it might take him a little more time. I think going through Crawford is better than going through you guys. I want the you guys fight as a tune-up, but if he can get this Crawford fight, it's a better road because he doesn't have to fight 3 fights. He could fight 2 fights and be unified champion because he can fight Crawford, and like I said, and then Spence and you guys can get it on, and then he can just go fight Spence for all the belts that Spence would hold, and he would actually hold that belt that Terence Crawford holds. So it's very interesting the road I think he's trying to go with her. Instead of taking, now that I think about it, going through you guys, I thought it would be an easier road, but it's actually a harder road because of the fact that if Pacquiao fights you guys, Spence and Crawford, they're still not going to fight each other because there's not enough money involved in that fight, and Spence is still going to want that 60-40 split. Crawford is not going to fight Spence for just $5 million or $4 million. And I think that's why you're seeing such a high price tag being thrown out there for Manny Pacquiao for the next fight. I think $10 million would lure Terence Crawford out there to potentially lose. But I think Bob Arum would counter offer Pacquiao with $15 million, and they might meet somewhere in the million for like $13 million, $12 million, somewhere around there. Black heavyweight. Now the question is, how much of that $10 million does Bob Arum get? Because that will determine whether or not Bud takes the fight. And that's why I said you might see Bob Arum counter offer black heavyweight with that $15 million or that 13, 14, $15 million counter offer. Because Bob Arum, you can best believe if he's risking Terence Crawford losing that fight and potentially losing his entire career, he's gonna want some cash out money from Pacquiao and Adi Attar, being like $3, $4, $5 million, somewhere around that. And I can see them saying, okay, well, Pacquiao take 35 and you guys can split 15 million. I can see that actually playing out in that way. If you ask me personally. We got 23 people in here, man. Please, if you can, Pacquiao that like button for me, man. Uppercut it, jab it, hook it, whatever you can, man. Please get these likes up, man. When you hit the like button, the YouTube algorithm shares the stream out to more people. So definitely let's try to get those likes up just a little bit for me, man. Please. I be back said if Pac beat Crawford, then Spence will never go near Pac. Facts. I think he won't have a choice. I don't think he would have a choice. Because if he fights you guys and wins, and Pacquiao fights Crawford and wins, the boxing world is going to demand that fight. I think Al Heyman would force the fight to happen. I think he would have so many investors in his ear with throwing up humongous dollar signs that Spence wouldn't have a choice but to go ahead and fight Pacquiao. I don't think he would be able to just lay back and not take that fight. Not at all. He wouldn't be able to. If Pacquiao beats Crawford, there's no way that Spence would be able to go fight Thurman or Sean Porter and justify that over fighting Pacquiao. There's no way that could possibly happen. And I actually think it's very interesting, too, that Pacquiao's going after Crawford because it's a sneaky way for the PBC to get all those belts. Well, if Crawford's not going to fight Spence because of the 60-40 split, he'll definitely fight Pacquiao for $10 million, and if they know something that Crawford don't know about Pacquiao, being that he still got it, being that, maybe PBC knows that Pacquiao still has a lot more left in the tank, that, like I said, that's a sneaky way for them to put Pacquiao up against Crawford, and get that belt from Top Rank, and then in the meantime, if Crawford loses too, he has no choice but to go join PBC because I don't see him re-signing with Top Rank. There would be absolutely no reason for him to re-sign with Top Rank because when Bob Arum comes with that contract, it's going to be ugly. If here's the problem for Crawford. If he loses to Pacquiao, when he goes to resign, or if he goes to say, hey, I want to renegotiate with Bob Arum when his contract is up, Bob Arum's not going to be offering him $5 million a fight anymore. It's going to be more like, hey, 2.5, $3 million, somewhere around there per fight, to try to rebuild his name. All right, let's move on. Bobby Rick, $10 million guaranteed is $20 million after pay-per-views and live gate numbers. Pac, $40 million guaranteed is $60 million plus. It's not going to be that high based off of the live gate. I don't think. I think they're basing most of this off of pay-per-view numbers and what these investors are going to invest in the fight. I'm not sure. I don't know what the regulations are over there in Dubai. They might be a lot more open than we are over here in the U.S. Or they could potentially make this an outdoor venue. It's not set in stone yet that it's going to be in Dubai, but you can best believe it's probably going to be somewhere overseas where it's warm and they can probably do it outside. I think that's what they're planning on doing, is making this fight an outdoors fight. Because they would be able to see. The problem with doing it indoors is they're only going to allow a certain amount of people inside, depending on what their regulations are. Like, I don't know exactly what their regulations are over there, but over here in the U.S., depending on the size of the venue, like if you're doing it in a 40,000 seat stadium, they're saying, okay, well, you can put 15 to 20,000 people in that stadium. You can't fill it up, but they might allow 15 to 20,000 people in that stadium, to where if you did it outside, because it's an enclosed area, if you did it outside, then they might be able to allow 30 to maybe 35, 40,000 people in a confined area, since it's open air. They're doing it in an open air instead of a ventilated, closed-in atmosphere. So I think all of that's going to play a role in that extra money you're talking about for that live gate, because it could do millions and millions of dollars at the live gate, depending on how many people they're actually allowing into the stadium or facility that they end up having it at. So I completely agree with you there, Bobby Rick. Albert says someone need to back up Pacquiao to back his belt. Asian races. What do you mean by that? To get his belt back? You mean to get the WBA belt back? I don't think he needs to go that route anymore. If they get it back, they get it back based off of the GBA. Going after the WBA. If he fights Crawford and they end up getting that belt back, that plays even better in his hands, because at that point, you could say that Pacquiao is the super champion, and he holds that belt that Terence Crawford holds. So it would force, at that point, Errol Spence to fight Pacquiao, because Pacquiao would end up being Errol Spence's mandatory, because he would hold the super title and he would hold the WBO title that Terence Crawford holds. So it would only play more into Pacquiao's hand, to where either way, it's good for Pacquiao to go through Crawford. It's a big fight. It's a legacy fight. He gets another belt. If he beats him, he's king of the boxing world once again, which he already is, because he beat Matisse, he beat Broner, and he beat Thurman. So not only that, let's go back a little further than that. He beat Jesse Vargas. He beat Chris Algieri. He beat Jeff Horn, but he got cheated. So his last 5 to 6 fights, he's just dominated everybody he's faced up with. So I would feel like this. If he fights Terence Crawford and he beats him and he got the belt back, then he becomes Errol Spence's number 1. But if he fights Terence Crawford, beats him, and Errol Spence fights you guys, then there's nobody else out there who's top tier for Errol Spence to fight but Manny Pacquiao. So I feel like the fight will be made either way. Whether he gets that super title back or not, if he beats Terence Crawford, it only sets up for a humongous Errol Spence fight. But if Crawford beats Pacquiao, oh boy, I mean the ball's in his court at that point. He might not be getting a belt from Pacquiao, but he would be getting bragging rights and all type of fame from taking out the legend Manny Pacquiao. So a lot on the line for both guys, but I think a lot more at risk for Terence Crawford if he loses that fight. Uh, John King says, GOAT. Pacquiao's the GOAT. I agree with you, man. If he wins this fight, he's already amongst the GOATs of the world. But if he wins this fight, there's no doubt that his legacy at least supersedes Floyd Mayweather's legacy. I know in a lot of people's mind, his legacy don't supersede Mayweather because Mayweather don't have no O's. But I think if he wins that fight, he definitely supersedes Mayweather, and he's number 1, 2, or 3 on anybody's king of boxing list or greatest of all time, GOATs of boxing, whatever you want to call it. John King says the F is Mayweather theory, bruh. What do you mean, Mayweather theory? It's not a theory. Mayweather will come out of retirement to face a Manny Pacquiao who has all the welterweight belts. What do you mean? That's not a theory. John King, the GOAT, he's the GOAT. That's not the Floyd Mayweather rematch. What do you mean by that, bro? Fotax lack, LAC, or lack, or whatever you want to call him. Fotax lack. Pacquiao not beating Crawford or Spence. Those styles are wrong for Pacquiao. I don't think so. I think Spence is the easier of the two fights. Actually, I mean not Spence, but Crawford is the easier of the two fights because I think Bob Earl even already mentioned this, that Terence Crawford's style, Manny Pacquiao's style might be a little too much for Terence Crawford, which is I think why he didn't make the fight in the past. These are Bob Earl's own words. He's seen both of those guys spar. Yes, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, but he's seen both of these guys spar. He's seen them both train. They might have trained together. He might have seen some things that we as fans are not privy to, and that trainers and people like that might not be able to legally speak about until both of these guys are retired. So I don't think both of those styles play out of Pacquiao's hand. I think Spence is the harder fight because he's the bigger fighter, and Spence would try to Jeff Horn Pacquiao. I think Crawford's the easier fight because I think Crawford would jump into the fight and try to out-quick Pacquiao. Well, that's the wrong. You saw Keith Thurman try to do that same thing. I'm going to try to out-quick Pacquiao when you can't really outspeed Manny Pacquiao. Nobody's in a boxing ring normally can outspeed Manny Pacquiao, but I think to a lot of people, maybe he's old and maybe he's lost that speed. We would just have to see. But I don't think that's true for Tex Lack. I don't think his style is wrong for either one of those guys. Black heavyweight, yeah, but if Pacquiao wins, Mayweather will resurface for another huge payday. The only reason Mayweather is not fighting Pacquiao now is because there's not enough money out there. But if Pac-Man wins, the dollar signs are humongous. I totally agree. The dollar signs aren't right for that fight to happen because if Mayweather stands to lose a lot legacy-wise if he takes an L to Pacquiao. If he takes an L period to anybody, his legacy takes a huge hit. So for him to come back, you're gonna have to see upwards of $300, $400, $500 million being mentioned with Floyd Mayweather's name. He got 100 for the last one. He's gonna want at least 200 for the next one. Pac is not interested anymore. Pac is not. You mean in the Mayweather fight? We'll have to see, man. I don't know if he's not interested in that fight. I don't see why he wouldn't take it if he had the opportunity. If he beat Spence and Crawford and then Floyd Mayweather came out and said, "Hey, let's fight for all those belts," why would Pacquiao turn that? Why do you think Pacquiao would turn that down? Mark Anthony, win or lose, Pac-Man against fighting top fighters in the prime. Pacquiao has nothing to prove. I guess you were trying to say prove instead of proved. Fighting Crawford and Spence makes Pacquiao greater than Mayweather. If he beats both of them, he's definitely greater than Mayweather, man. He's going to be number one on the all-time great list if he beats both of those guys. Because you beat both of the top guys of the new era of boxing. You didn't just beat two fair weather names or two up and coming fighters. You beat the best two guys in welterweight boxing, and why wouldn't his name be mentioned up there with the greatest of all times? Looks like we're having some technical difficulties here. Don't know what's going on with the stream. Having some technical difficulties with the stream, man. What's going on? But let's move on to I don't know what's going on with the stream while I was skipping like that. It been rolling fine all this time, and as soon as we get here, try to start explaining something and it start skipping. Pacquiao need money for presidential election next year. I'm not sure if all of this, I don't know if all of this is just for the money for the presidency. I think if he fights Crawford and Spence, that's for legacy, man. He's doing that for something deeper than just getting money for the presidency. He's definitely going to get a lot of money for his run if he wins, but I don't think it's just for the presidency. I'm sorry about the choppiness of the stream, man. I don't know why it started chopping up like that. It might be because we've never had this many people actually in the chat before, so bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. Pacquiao, okay. John King, that fraud is done. You talking about Mayweather? Man, listen. If Pacquiao beats both of those guys, believe me, 122,000 million %, Mayweather is gonna come creeping out of the woodworks to fight Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao, Maypac 2 is definitely gonna happen, man. It cannot not happen if he beats both of those guys. That's the biggest fight in boxing. It would totally revive the sport as far as bringing new audience into the sport. It would be the biggest dollar signs you've ever seen, besides Pacquiao potentially fighting Canelo or Triple G, which I think is a lot more dangerous than him fighting Mayweather or Crawford or Spence. But best believe me, if he can win that fight versus Crawford and then get a Spence fight and at least beat Spence on points, definitely, and get all those belts, there's no doubt in my mind that Maypac 2 is happening. Yep, presidential campaigns aren't cheap. I mean, that's true, but this is a hard way to finance a presidential run by saying I'm gonna go get in the boxing ring with the best two fighters of the new generation, and I gotta win both fights for me to get paid the big dollar sign. So I don't think this is all about the presidency run. I think in the back of his mind, he knows that, hey, if I win both of these fights, I might be able to finance something huge in the Philippines. But believe this, man. Manny Pacquiao's not going into this presidential run without people already backing him. He's already got huge backers for that presidential run. And from what I heard, he's not running for the president his first term. He's actually going for the vice presidency, and then he's going for the presidency in 2026. So it's not going to take as much money on Manny Pacquiao's end to be vice president as it would be to be president. So whoever's running for the president is going to be taking most of the financial brunt when it comes to his first term as vice president, or for him running for vice president. So I don't think he needs as much money for that vice president run as people think he does. John King, and Thurman hits harder than those two, but I don't know about the skills Pat can pull it off. I don't know if Thurman hits harder. Based off that Pacquiao fight, when Pacquiao fought Thurman, I wasn't impressed with Thurman's punching power. I was impressed with Thurman's ability to take a hard punch, and get right back up. I was impressed with Thurman's stamina. I was impressed with his footwork. His punching power it wasn't no lights out punching power coming from Thurman. And I think the reason people think Crawford has stunning punching power is because he's been fighting my uncles and my cousins, and he's been fighting guys that work at McDonald's and Burger King for the past few years. And it's not hard to knock a guy out who likes Happy Meal. I'm just playing, but he hasn't been fighting the best competition, so I think this is the reason why a lot of people think that Crawford's punching power is so ridiculous because he knocks out lower tier fighters. Pacquiao was knocking out champions. I'll repeat that. Pacquiao in his prime and in the past few years has been knocking out champions. Okay, Matisse, Pacquiao knocked him out. Thurman, Pacquiao knocked him down. Broner, he dominated Broner. Jesse Vargas, I believe Jesse Vargas was a champion when Pacquiao fought him. He was some type of champion. He was holding some type of ring belt or something, ring magazine belt or something when he fought him. He dominated Jesse Vargas. These are all younger fighters that were champions or former champions. And the only champion that Terence Crawford, or former champion that Terence Crawford has beat, has been Jeff Horn and Kell Brook. Kell Brook was already washed up when he got him. Spence had already been through him. Golovkin completely pulled him apart, and he got a washed up version of Kell Brook. Jeff Horn basically cheated Pacquiao out of his title, shouldn't have been a champion, and that's how Terence Crawford became champion. So I don't give Terence Crawford a lot of credit for the knockouts he's been getting, because it hasn't been against the best of competition. If you ask me, I'm not impressed with Terence Crawford's punching power. Earl Spence Jr., he doesn't have the best punching power, but he's a big body who can lean on you and gas you out and throw big elbows and all type of stuff. So it's more of a dangerous fight for Pacquiao. If you watch the Jeff Horn fight, you should know why I think it's more of a dangerous fight for Pacquiao than the Spence fight is. Than the Crawford fight is. Okay. I'm trying to catch up in the chat here real fast. Where am I at? All right. I'll be back. Mark Anthony Pack is already greater than Manny, or old Manny beat Thurman while young Floyd ducked Thurman. I think you meant Mark Anthony Pack is already greater than Floyd. Old Manny beat Thurman while young Floyd ducked Thurman. Young Floyd, old Floyd ain't fought nobody. Young Floyd, really, he cherry-picked a lot of fights. He picked the fights he wanted, the fights he felt like he could win easily. It is what it is. But I do believe for money, you will see money come back out of retirement to get some more money, to try to get another easy payday on Pacquiao's back. If he beats Crawford and Spence. Albert says it's hard to win for Pacquiao, Spence, or Crawford. I'm not saying this is going to be a walk in the park. I'm just saying Pacquiao is the guy who can pull this off. If anybody can pull this off, based off what I've seen Pacquiao do over the past 3 years, if you look at the Matisse fight, if you look at the Jesse Vargas fight, if you look at the Broner fight, if you look at the Thurman fight, he completely dominated those guys who were champions or former champions. He didn't look like he lost a step versus Vargas. He didn't look like he lost a step versus Matisse. He didn't look like he lost a step versus Broner. He didn't look like he lost a step versus Thurman. I know a lot of people say they felt like he gassed out at the end of the Thurman fight. I say he dominated Thurman so much he didn't have to go hard at the end of the Thurman fight. I think people wanted him to knock Thurman out, where the new Pacquiao is not really into brutalizing his opponent if he doesn't have to. The new Pacquiao, once he scores that knockdown or he sees he's up by 2 or 3 rounds, he's going to let you survive. He's not going to try to Miguel Cotto you or Margarito you unless it's completely necessary. He didn't even want to do that to Miguel Cotto and Margarito, but the referee wouldn't stop those fights, so he had to keep delivering more and more punishment to try to get the referee to stop those fights. I think the new Pacquiao, he wouldn't go about it that way. So I think the Thurman fight, if you think he gassed out in that Thurman fight, I would say think twice. Maybe Pacquiao just turned it off because he didn't need to be so aggressive at the end of the fight. And you have to remember, Freddie Roach has been telling Pacquiao not to be so aggressive when he's up because he doesn't want him to get in a situation like he was with the Marquez fight ever again. So instead of him always trying to push, when he knows he's up, He's only trying to maintain through the rest of the fight. And he was up really quick and really early in that Keith Thurman fight, so there was no need for him to go for a knockout against Thurman. Vortex Lax says Pacquiao is easy cooking for Bud or Spence. Father Time never loses. It depends, man. When people say that about you getting old in boxing or sports in general, they say that because I think it's normal to say that, and normally that's very true. But it's only true if you're a normal individual. If you age normally, like you have bad habits, or you maintain really bad habits, and you don't really take care of yourself, and the older you get, the more you get into your bad habits, and the less you get into maintaining your physical and your body and your mental and your spiritual and all that. I would say yeah, but Pacquiao's not that type of person. Obviously, this man stays in shape. You know, he lives a very good lifestyle when it comes to religion and stuff like that. So I would never say Pacquiao is aging bad. I would say he's aging gracefully, and he's just one of those type of people who maintains his physique, his body. You know, even at 42 years of age, I don't think nobody would have challenged Arnold Schwarzenegger to a fight. He was still ripped up and big, and could probably beat you to death if he wanted to. I don't think nobody would have challenged a 43-year-old or 45-year-old Sylvester Stallone to a fight. And these aren't even real. They don't even really fight. They're not real fighters. But I don't think anybody would be willing to just go say, hey, I want to fight this guy because he's 42 or 43. You know, that I don't think that really should matter. What should matter is his skill level and whether he maintains his physique. Herschel Walker didn't start boxing until he was like 40-something. And he went in there doing UFC until he was 40-something. He went in there and won fights, you know, because he lives a great lifestyle. He maintains. This man's like 60-something years old and looks like he's like 17 or 18 years old. So I don't think his age plays a big role in whether he can beat Spencer Crawford. I think his skill level and skill sets and how he maintains himself will tell whether time catches up with Pacquiao. Now I gotta try and lost myself in the chat again. Wow, we got a lot of comments today, man. I'm lost in the chat, man. Give me just a second. Alright, I think I found it. Okay. I hope, Albert says, I hope Pacquiao last fight in the Philippines. That would be interesting, man. Pacquiao versus Spence in the Philippines in 2022. Could possibly happen. Are you in, Albert, are you in the Philippines? Are things open over in the Philippines? Are y'all, if Pacquiao does beat Crawford and he wants to bring that last fight to the Philippines, is things open enough over there to where they could have that fight? Or possibly Pacquiao fights and beats Crawford and goes fight Spence and then potentially fights Mayweather in the Philippines. Even if it's an exhibition fight versus Mayweather in the Philippines. If he beats Crawford and Spence and then got an exhibition with Mayweather as a retirement fight, I would enjoy that, you know. I just want to see him beat Crawford and Spence. Put it that way. I want to see him face up at least with Crawford and Spence. It would be awesome to see that, man. Bobby Rick, that's what people said when he fought Thurman. LOL. Exactly, man. Exactly. Facts, bro. That's exactly what they said. He's too old. They too young. I mean, they said the same thing when he fought Jesse Vargas. And Jesse Vargas was really, I ain't going to say he's a nobody, but, you know, they didn't think he could beat Vargas. And he just completely pulled Jesse Vargas apart. When he fought Matisse, you know, they were saying Matisse was making his comeback. Pacquiao's too old. There's no way Pacquiao's going to win this fight. And made Matisse look completely foolish when they fought. And then when the Broner fight came up, everybody was saying Broner was going to dominate him. He was going to do him worse than Floyd did him. And man, what do we get? We got a Pacquiao who just completely demolished Broner. You know, Pacquiao is what started Broner, the end of Adrian Broner. If Broner would have never took that Pacquiao fight, he'll probably still be on top right now. But he went up against Pacquiao and he got dominated. Then they said the same thing for the Thurman fight. And then you saw the first round of the Thurman fight, what Pacquiao still had left. And I think Pacquiao might have actually been holding back in that fight. I don't even think he was going 100% like he normally does. Let's move on. Let's move on a little bit. Try to get through these chats. Albert Sanchez says, thanks. No problem, bro. No problem. Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate everybody. We got 73 people in here right now, man. If y'all can take time out, man, and hit that like button for me. Pacquiao that like button for me. Uppercut it, jab it, hook it, all that, man. Got 73 people in here. Please get them likes up, man. We can get more people into the chat. Bobby, no, I got that one. Fotex Lack says, Bobby, you betting? How much? What you putting up, Fotex, and who you got? Let me know who you got, man. I'm trying to catch up in this chat, man. I'm real far behind. Fotex Lack says, I had Pacquiao favorite over Thurman just because of Thurman inactivity, which is true. I mean, he was out for like 2 years when he fought Pacquiao, and it's going to be interesting to see. Listen, I think Pacquiao is special because Pacquiao is going straight for this fight, so obviously he's been in shape this whole time, and he knows something we don't know as far as his physique and his shape, and he says he's walking around at 152, so that's bigger than normal. He normally walks around. So it's going to be interesting to see this fight, man. It's really going to be interesting to see this fight when it plays out. And I think this is the fight that we all are going to get. Mark Anthony, still Pacquiao era still exists until now, not Cotto. I only say it's Cotto. I think fighters are their era in their prospective weight classes. So Cotto, it's his era in the middleweights. It's Spence Crawford and Pacquiao's era in the welterweight division. You know, it's Gervonta Davis and Teofimo and Devin Haney's era in the 130 to 140 division. And you can go on and on. You know, Lomachenko was the last era of the 130 to 140 division. But now, you know, you got these new guys moving up. And Lomachenko has to make his way back, you know, similar to what Pacquiao had to do when he started taking losses. And he just worked his way back every time, you know. That's why I never go against Pacquiao, because even when he loses, he works his way back. He doesn't try to sneak his way back to the top. He don't try to backdoor his way back he works his way back to the top, and he does it in dynamic fashion against the best of competition. Let's keep moving on. Bobby Rick says, hell yeah, I'm betting on Pac. I'm with you on that one. If he fights Crawford, man, I might. This will be the first time I put something up on a fight. I think I'm gonna put something up on this fight. I'm trying to get a little something off this fight. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't bet. You know, I'm not one to bet money. You know, I'm just not. You know, it's not me. But if this fight happens, I'm putting some money on this fight, man. Mark Anthony, okay, I got that one already. Jay Greatness, what's cracking to you, bro? Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Hey, we got 100 people in here right now, man. I appreciate all 100 of y'all for coming through. But can y'all please smash that like button, Pacquiao that like button as you come through. Uppercut it, jab it, hook it, man. Whatever you can do to get them likes up, man. It helps the algorithm share this chat out to more people. So, Jay Greatness, let's go. I don't mind paying $100 to watch T-Bud versus Pac. Man, you think it's going to be 100? I think it'll be around 80. They might do it for 80, 60 or 80. 100, that's a lot, man. That's saying that they doing Mayweather Pacquiao, Maypac numbers. You know, they charged $100 for that fight. So, it's going to be interesting what the number on it. But you might be right simply because of what's going on in the world. So they might charge more for that fight than they would a normal fight. So I think I can agree with you there, Jay Greatness. This might be $100 fight on pay-per-view. And I think I'm willing to pay that myself. However, I got to watch this fight. I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm watching it live. I'm covering it live as it happens, as it plays out. I think I would be willing to pay $100. I paid the 100. I ain't even gonna lie. I paid the $100 to the cable company for Maypac, and I was mad after the fight, but it was worth it to see both of those guys get in the ring. I'm not gonna lie. So I would be willing to pay that again. Vortex Lack. If Pacquiao fights both Bud and Spence, then this certified Pacquiao as a GOAT. He's already a GOAT, man. And he don't have to fight both of those guys to be a GOAT. He could lose to both of those guys and still be a GOAT. But if he beats both of those guys, you have to solidify Manny Pacquiao as the #1 fighter of all times. And I do mean all times. There's no question in my mind that Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter out there if he's able to pull off this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight and beats both of these guys. John A says Pac already a GOAT. Man, I totally agree. He's already a GOAT. Ain't no need to say if or he's already a GOAT, man. He don't even have to fight both of these guys to be a GOAT. What's up with you, Johnny A? First time seeing you in here, man. Appreciate you for joining the chat. Hope you subscribe, bro. Hope to see you again, man. Bobby Rick, hit the like button. Yes, please smash it, man. Pacquiao that like button. If you are a Manny Pacquiao fan and you want to see great Manny Pacquiao content, you love to chat with other Manny Pacquiao fans, you want a great discussion about Manny Pacquiao's remainder of his career, hit that like button, man. Subscribe so you can be informed when I do go live and you can join the conversation, man. Because the next 2 months of Pacquiao's career, along with the next 2 years, are going to be a wild ride, man. So I know you want to come along and be a part of this greatness, man, as it plays out. So hit that like button, man. I agree with you, Bobby Rick. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Bobby Rick, that's dollar signs. This is going to be huge, man. This is huge for the sport of boxing. If we can't get the best welterweight fight that is supposed to be out there, which is Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, I think the next best thing is one of those guys fighting Manny Pacquiao. Should Pacquiao have to fight both of them? I don't think so. If he fights both of them, I think it's awesome for the sport, though. I think it does a lot to push the sport forward and to bring new fan bases into the sport, mixing the old generation with the new generation, and trying to make something spectacular for moving forward for the future of boxing. Brian Santos. What's good with you, Brian, man? Good to see you again, man. Glad you came back in. I wonder how much Mayweather versus Bodo fight generates. Mayweather does not make the money when you have a big fan base like Manny Pacquiao. Puerto Rico fighters, that greatness generates a lot of money. I mean, he fought them a lot of Mexican fighters for a reason. He fought them Mexican fighters they brought in big dollar signs. He picked certain fights for certain reasons. I can't hate him for doing that. I just hate the fact that he did that more than trying to make himself more great, more better in the history books of boxing. I think in the history books of boxing, Mayweather did more damage to his career than he did help his career by keeping that O. If Mayweather would have fought Pacquiao in his prime, I don't even think Pacquiao would still be around right now. I think that fight would have done such big numbers that both of those guys could have probably retired just off of that fight alone. He wouldn't have had to fight all those other. But at the same time, we wouldn't have got all these great fights from Manny Pacquiao that we never thought we were going to get to see. Well after what people thought when people thought Pacquiao's career was over. Carlos Molina. Hey, Cardinal. What up? What about the winner of Taylor Ramirez at 140? Man, I have to check it out, man. I'm not sure yet. I have to go check that out. I always miss Ramirez. I miss Ramirez, Devin Haney, and I missed Ramirez, Devin Haney. I've never seen Ryan Garcia fight. I tried to catch Devin Haney's last fight. I couldn't get the stream to work. It just wouldn't load up for some reason, so I didn't get to watch it. Ramirez, every time he fights, I always miss it. I don't know why. Just the time's not syncing up right. I missed Anthony Joshua's fight because I thought it was coming on later on in the day, but he had his fight at like in the middle of the day. You know, in American time, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock, I think, when they fight. 2 or 3 o'clock or something like that when they fought. So, you know, I've missed a lot of good fights, man. Sometimes it's the reason why I don't cover them, because I would rather cover them based off the fact that I got to watch them and I can give an analysis of what I saw live instead of getting on YouTube and try to rewatch it, somebody's edit of the fight. I don't like watching edits of fights. Vortex Lax, I got Taylor beating Ramirez. Yeah, y'all gonna have to chop it up about that fight, man, because like I said, I've missed, I haven't gotten a chance to catch up with Ramirez yet. Wild Pony TV, bro, if you're putting curse words or anything in the chat, man, the algorithm's not gonna let those comments come through because I have them turned off, man. We have young people that sometimes subscribe to my channel, so I don't want to be offending nobody or their parents. So you can't put curse words. If you can rewrite that, man, and resend it, I appreciate that. But I don't want to put cursing in the chat, bro. Sorry. Carlos Molina, Manny should fight the winner of Taylor Ramirez. You know what? I don't want to see him fight none of these new guys. With the exception of Crawford and Spence, he should just be focusing on that. For him to be trying to throw all these younger fighters in there and all these up and coming guys, it's too dangerous for him to be fighting some younger up and coming fighter when there's 2 huge money fights out there, potentially 4 or 5 huge money fights if you add in Golovkin, Canelo, and Mayweather. There's no need to mention a Gervonta Davis, a Ryan Garcia, a Teofimo Lopez, a Devin Haney, Ramirez. These guys, their names are not big enough. They don't draw on pay-per-view. And if Pacquiao loses to him, it does more damage to his career than it does help his career. Unfortunately, I just can't agree with that one, bro. Appreciate that comment, though, Carlos. Jay Greatness, y'all hitting that like button, man. I hope y'all are, man. 150 something people in here right now, man. We only got 49 likes, so please, man, Pacquiao, that like button for me, man. If you a fan of Pacquiao, please Pacquiao that like button for me, and please subscribe as well. Appreciate that, Jay Greatness. Appreciate that. Wild Pony TV, because team of Manny is running for president in Banga, Morocco's, in daughter of President Sarah Durute. Don't create wrong information, man. I see what you're saying there. I'm not creating wrong information, but I did say that. I did say that, but I was told that he was running for the vice presidency, his first term, and not for the presidency. I said he was running behind somebody else, and that if he does run, he doesn't need as much money to run for the vice presidency as he does need to run for the presidency. Whoever's running for the presidency, most of the money is going to be coming from them and not coming from their vice president. Your vice president is kind of like your backup. So I don't think Pacquiao is going to be coming out of his pocket much to run for vice president of the Philippines. I might be wrong about that. I'm not in the Philippines, but what I was told, he was running for the vice presidency the first term and then the presidency in 2026. Alrighty, let's move on. Bobby Rick, I'm still shocked about this news with Manny and Crawford. I'm so hyped, man. You can't do nothing but be hyped, man. This is the ultimate in fanfare right here. This creates a hysterical atmosphere around this fight, man. And I think it's exactly what boxing needs. This is why MMA is so popular. It's because MMA fans get the fights they want to see. You know, that when they want to see a fight, if they want to see Dustin Poirier get in there and getting on with Conor McGregor, they're gonna make that fight for those fans because they know those fans are gonna pay for it. In boxing, it's kind of like the other way around. Whatever the fans want to see, you're never gonna get it because it's too much of a risk for the fighters. You know, MMA don't seem to care about that too much. They'll put their biggest star up against their up and coming star, and if the big star gets knocked out by the up and coming star, I think they feel like that's better for the sport. In boxing, they don't really want that. They don't really want to give the up and coming guy a chance And I think Manny Pacquiao's turned that wall down. He doesn't have to give either one of these guys a chance. He can go fight a bunch of nobodies and make money and make really good money. But for him to take on a challenge like this can't do nothing but make you hyped, do nothing but make you happy, make you enthusiastic about the future of the sport of boxing, man. This makes me enthusiastic about the future. After Pacquiao, I think there might be a lot more greatness to come if we get these fights, because I think people are going to be willing to shine. I think Pacquiao is going to bring the willingness to want to be great back to the sport of boxing, and not just the willingness to want to make money. And that's great for the sport of boxing to me, man. All right, y'all. 200 people in here, man. I've never ever hit numbers like this. 200 people in the chat, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. And y'all, please hit that like button for me. If we can get to 100 likes before the end of this live stream, man, hopefully we can do something special on the channel, man. Maybe I can give away something if I can find something you guys want to give away. If we can get our hands on one of those Manny Pacquiao tickets, maybe we can give away a Pacquiao ticket, man. If we can get to 100 likes, man, just let me know. Let's see it, man. Pacquiao that like button for me. Try and move through this chat a little bit more. Jeff Horn bullied Pacquiao. I agree with that, man. I think that's what he's gonna face when it comes to him taking on Earl Spence. Is a more of a bully tactic from Spence. Spence trying to use his size to slow Pacquiao down and to gas him out for later on in the fight, so he can do a lot of body work. And I think I feel like for that reason, Spence is more of a dangerous fight for Pacquiao. I don't think Crawford is going to be able to bully Pacquiao. And I think when Crawford does get on the inside with Pacquiao, it plays more into Pacquiao's hands than it does Crawford's hands. I think Pacquiao's the harder of those two punchers. And I think if he tried to fight on the inside with Pacquiao, it would play right into Pacquiao's hands. That came from Vortex Lack. Bobby Rick, because the ref let him fight dirty as you know what. Which is true. I think they set him up, man. I think he was just set up in that fight. And he kind of just walked right into the setup. Jeff Horn got the nod, man. I can't be mad at Jeff Horn. I feel like, allegedly, I feel like Bob Arum set him up to get that belt out of his hands because he knew Pacquiao was on his way out. But, it is what it is. It's years later. Pacquiao's doing bigger, more amazing things. And guess what? After all that, nobody cares about Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, I don't even think, is in the sport of boxing anymore. So Manny Pacquiao prevailed from that situation. And Jeff Horn, he took a nosedive after that situation. So it ended up playing right into Manny Pacquiao's hands. Brian Santos, Mayweather is not going to come out of retirement to fight Manny. Manny doesn't need Mayweather. We're not saying he needs Mayweather. We're not saying none of this is a definite. But the fact of the matter is Mayweather is motivated by money. And if Pacquiao beats both of those guys, the one thing that is going to be thrown at Manny Pacquiao is big dollar signs. They're not going to want Pacquiao to retire. They're going to want to see that Floyd fight. And you're going to see every investor in the world with $200 to $300 million come out of the woodwork to try to get Floyd Mayweather to come out of retirement to fight Pacquiao if he's holding all those belts. There's no way in the world that they're going to let Manny Pacquiao retire with all those belts without fighting Floyd Mayweather if he's able to beat Spence and Crawford. You can believe that 100%. I appreciate that comment, Brian Santos. Lex Luger, how is Manny in negotiating fights with like 5 people? That's what you have to do, man. This is the sport of boxing. You can't just say, hey, I'm negotiating with one person, because if that fight falls through and that's the only fight you've been negotiating, you're going to be in trouble if you already secured a venue and a fight date, because you're not going to have nobody to fight. So it's in your best interest to negotiate with several different fighters and just pick the best deal that's out there for you. I think that's what he's been doing. I think he's been fishing this whole time, and he might have finally hooked that big one with this Crawford fight, man. I think it's gonna happen. He doesn't have a belt. Why fight him for clout? It's definitely not for clout, Lex Luger. If he fights Manny Pacquiao, if Crawford takes that fight, it's for the money. It's not for the fame that he's gonna get off of it. Believe me, it's all for that money that him and Bob Arum are gonna get off of it, and the fact that he feels like he can beat Pacquiao. It's not these are not clout fights. Pacquiao Spence, Pacquiao Crawford, those ain't clout fights. They're Pacquiao Garcia, Pacquiao Haney, Pacquiao Lomachenko. Those are clout fights. I would consider those to be fights because another fighter's trying to gain popularity off of Manny Pacquiao. If Terence Crawford fights Pacquiao, it ain't because he's gonna get popular. It's because he thinks he can win, and he's getting paid $10 million to fight him. And definitely Pacquiao ain't fighting Crawford for clout. He's doing that for legacy and the money. My opinion, Lex Luger. Appreciate the comment though. Hope you hit the like button. I hope you subscribe, bro. I'll be back. Floyd uses Manny's name to stay relevant and promote his fight with a YouTuber. After he beat the YouTuber, he'll say he's retired, no rematch. He will use Manny's name again for the next YouTuber. I thought the Logan Paul fight was off. I thought they already called it off. I'm not sure about that. I'll be back. I think they already called it off because they couldn't get the investors because they're not going to be able to fill up the venue. I think that's what happened, but I'm really not sure, man. Let me stop for a second, man. I got to thank everybody for coming through, man. We've had up to 210 people in the chat, man, over the past hour and a half, man. I've never gotten numbers like that. I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Appreciate all of y'all for hitting the like button. Continue to smash that Pacquiao that like button, man, as we continue on. It's great to see that there are a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans excited about this fight. And if you want to stay in touch with me, you want the latest and greatest and breaking news regarding Pacquiao's career, hit that like button, man, and subscribe. So and hit the bell notification too, so you can be notified when I do go live and when I do drop videos. Let me continue on here. Boyette Nation. I hope I said that right. Boyette Nation. Manny is the GOAT. No belt, no problem. He is the one to fight, to get noticed by the boxing world or boxing people, which is true right now. If you want to make your name, go fight Manny Pacquiao. You want to become overnight famous, go fight Manny Pacquiao. You want to make millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, go fight Manny Pacquiao, because that's exactly what's going to happen. A whole part of the world who didn't know who you are is instantly going to know who you are, and you're overnight famous. The same way Teofimo Lopez, nobody knew who he was until he fought Vasyl Lomachenko, except for purists, boxing fans. When he beat Vasyl Lomachenko, everybody knew who he was. So I agree with you there. It's going to do a lot for Terence Crawford's career, to where he couldn't get people to pay attention to him. If he fights Pacquiao, all eyes are on Terence Crawford. Heidi Oya, loose. I don't know what that means, but loose. I hope you ain't got me cussing out here in Filipino. Loose. Translate that, somebody, if you know Filipino. What does that mean? Gio Angelo Santalina. Let's go, champ. Let's go, Pac-Man. Love from the Philippines, bro. Straight up. Gio and Angelo Santalina. Appreciate you for coming through, bro. I hope you subscribed. I hope you hit that like button. Shouts out to you, bro. We all Pacquiao fans in here, I believe. Most of us are. It might be some haters in here too, but we welcome them to the chat too, man. Just like we welcome the fans. Mr. Transfer BR3. They've been debating Pacquiao since 2008. I'm saying, man, when does this man get his just due? When is it this guy's just a spectacular fighter? Why is it always a question mark? He doesn't have enough power. He don't have enough speed. He's too small. Now he's too old. He's too much into politics. You name it. He don't make enough money. He's broke. He's only doing it for the money. You know, he got knocked out by Marquez. You name it, they've done said it, and every time he just rises above it and moves on to the next level of boxing. He is the face of boxing. He is the cash cow of boxing. Mayweather, I don't think, was ever as famous as Manny Pacquiao was. He might have pulled better deals as far as contracts and dollar signs than Pacquiao did, but I don't think he was ever as famous as Manny Pacquiao was or is. Manny Pacquiao's uber famous. It's ridiculous the level of fame that goes along with his name. I'm way behind in the chat. I'm trying to catch up. I'll be back. What will be the excuse for Flomos after Pacquiao beat Crawford? Very interesting, man. What is going to be the excuse? What's going to be the excuse for everybody? What's going to be the excuse for people saying Pacquiao had the division up? What's going to be the excuse for people saying Pacquiao's too old to fight these guys? What's going to be the excuse if Pacquiao beats these guys? Are you going to see a lot of egg on a lot of people's face? A lot of these boxing YouTuber channels that really been ishing on Pacquiao. If he wins, hey, man, you're going to see a lot of egg on a lot of people's face, man. No hate to nobody, but if you've been ishing on Pacquiao all this time and he wins, man, you deserve all the flack that comes with the fact that you've been hating on Pacquiao all this time, and basically for no reason, man. Pacquiao, he's a step above every other boxer out there, if you ask me, for simply taking this challenge, man. Win or lose, just for taking the challenge, I salute the man for being 42 years old and say, I want the best. I don't want to duck nobody. We ain't running from nobody, and we gonna pay you good. We ain't even gonna lowball you. We gonna pay you good for this A whooping. You gonna get the best payday you ever got, son. All right, man. Let's move on to the chat. They are going to say Manny would have done worse with his defense. We'll see, man. We'll definitely see what's going to be said about this fight, and if Pacquiao actually wins, if Pacquiao loses, if Pacquiao dominates these guys. Man, there's so much excitement. I got so much stuff I want to say, but I'm trying to hold some of it in, man, because I want to do some videos and some other content around this fight. So I don't want to put it all out there yet. Bobby Rick, pressure on Crawford's team now. Can't say Pac scared anymore or ducking. He put all his cards on the table. Man, $10 million cards he just threw on the table and said, what you got, son? you going all in or you folding, man? Brian Santos, card, you're behind of your chat. Man, I'm so far behind. It took off, man. It took off really fast. I looked. I had like one or two I was behind on, and then all of a sudden, like 100 people came into the chat at once, and I had now I'm like 20 or 30 behind. So I'm sorry, man. Y'all further along than I am. Collagen A legacy fight of the year 2021, Pacquiao versus Crawford. I'm so far behind. I can't respond to everybody's comment no more. I'm gonna read them out, but I can't respond to it. I appreciate that comment from you, Collagen A. Bobby Rick. If I am Crawford, this a no-brainer. Money, fame, and legacy. Biggest fight of his career. Right here, he might not get another chance. Exactly. He has to jump on this opportunity because, listen, if Spence is only offering you $4 to $5 million, you would have to be crazy to turn down this opportunity. You're not gonna get it nowhere else. Bob Arum doesn't want to secure you a fight because he don't want to risk you losing to a lower tier fighter, and so he's lowballing all these other fighters like Porter and Thurman, because he doesn't want to match Crawford up against those guys and potentially lose, and him not gain anything off of it. So I think everybody wins in this situation. Pacquiao gets his 30 to 40 million that he wants. You know, Bob Arum gets him some secure money just in case Crawford loses. If Crawford wins, he gets fame and fortune and all this stuff that he's been missing in his career. You know, it's a win-win-win for everybody. So this is actually a perfect fight for everybody. Chess Sama says Crawford is a coward now. We'll soon see, man. If he don't take this fight, you can definitely say whatever you want to about Terence Crawford, because you not only did you get offered the biggest payday of your life, the biggest payday of your life, but you're getting offered the ultimate amount of fame because you get to fight Manny Pacquiao. So you're gonna be, man, how much bigger can it get? You know, if you don't take this fight, there's definitely something wrong with Terence Crawford, and there's a reason why. Calvin A says, shout out from the Philippines, Crawford Pacquiao is the good fight of the year 2021. Hey, man, it's the perfect fight. It'll definitely be fight of the year unless Pacquiao Spence happens within the year of 2021. The Fans Corner. What's up, the Fans Corner, man? If he has a channel, go check him out. I appreciate you for coming through. Bud versus Pac-Man, is it real? The offer's out there, $10 million, the Fans Corner. $10 million for Terence Crawford, $40 million for Manny Pacquiao. I think there's room for negotiation. So, yes, it is very real. It's all up to Terence Crawford and Bob Arum right now. Pacquiao threw the cards on the table, man, and said, let's get it on. Bobby Rick, yes, it's very real. I appreciate you, Bobby Rick, for helping out in the chat, man, trying to catch me up with, let everybody know what's going on, while I try to catch up in the chat. Super truthful. This is crazy. Pac, I love, but he needs to retire and let the young man have the ring. Why you want him to retire, Super truthful, man? If he can beat these guys, why not? Why not make this fight, Super truthful? Because put it this way, if he still has enough to in the tank to beat him, why retire? And if he doesn't have enough left in the tank not to beat him, why not still fight him? Because it helps those guys build those guys' careers up. Terence Crawford can't sell a picnic tablecloth to a family reunion. So he needs a big fight like this to expose him to a new crowd. So it actually, like I said, it's a win-win-win for everybody, man. It's a win-win-win for Crawford, Pacquiao, Spence, and Bob Arum. Everybody involved in this is going to win if this does take place. Bobby Rick, Pacquiao just offered Crawford $10 million guaranteed in a fight in Dubai on May 15th. I appreciate you for letting everybody know that, Bobby Rick. I'll be back after Manny left Top Rank. Crawford called out Manny every day. Now all the cards are on his table. Crawford can't hide anymore. He will be exposed as a ducking Manny. Exactly, man. He did say a lot about, hey, I want to fight this guy. Just make it. If you make it, I'm going to take it. And $10 million is way more than he deserves. But I think Pacquiao did that on purpose, because if he turns that down, it shows you a lot about Terence Crawford. If you turn down $10 million and all this fame, then obviously you realize in your mind that you can't beat this guy. And for lack of a better word, you're just ducking. Rodolfo Lopez, I think because of Pacquiao greatness, Earl Spence and Terence Crawford should fight first, and then winner gets the mega fight with Pacquiao. I agree. It should play out like that, but I think unfortunately we're running out of time. Pacquiao just doesn't have the time to sit around waiting for these guys to work out the dollar signs. He's trying to make something special happen, and for the only way he's going to get what he wants is for him to make it happen. So, and I'm completely behind Manny Pacquiao and his decision to go ahead and fight both of these guys, which I think is what he's going to ultimately end up doing. So I'm behind the man 100%. Now it's time for Crawford to man up and take the fight. George Zerner, come on, Crawford fight Pac-Man. Come on, Crawford, man. You got to fight him, man. You can't turn this down. George done told you, man. You got to take this fight. Appreciate you for coming through, George, man. Thank you. I hope you hit the like button. I hope you I hope you subscribe, bro. You're gonna want to stay behind, stay up to date with all the content, man. So please subscribe, and as well hit the like button. Chess Sama says Tupac Chimba. Man, I don't know what the Chimba means, but I know what that Tupac and that laugh means. I appreciate you there, Chess Sama. Appreciate you for coming through. I hope you are a new subscriber, and I hope you check out the content from now on, bro. I appreciate you. Roy Garcia says Crawford needs to take that fight, make some money. Brother, I agree with you, Roy. Man, I can't wait for this, man. If he don't take this fight, what are y'all gonna think about Terence Crawford if him and Bob Arum turn this fight down? What are y'all gonna think about Terence Crawford? What does that say about Crawford, and how's that gonna impact his legacy? If he turns that fight down, does that say he's scared of Pacquiao? He's ducking him, and does it hurt his legacy? What happens for Crawford next after that? Basketball Planet. I be back. STFU. He signed with Top Rank to fight Manny. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know if he actually signed to fight Manny. I think he might have wanted that fight, but I think Bob Arum was a little hesitant in making that fight, simply because I think he saw the potential in Crawford and didn't want to risk anything with Crawford, placing him against Manny Pacquiao for Crawford's future. Super truthful. I wish Pac-Man would leave with his dignity and grace without a devastating loss. It's not worth. He'll be 43. Let's let it go. I mean, listen, man. He dominated the last 4 younger fighters that he's fought. So why would you say that age is playing any type of role in Manny Pacquiao's career? The only reason you could be saying that is because you may be a little afraid for the impact a loss to Manny Pacquiao might have on Crawford or Spencer's career. Now believe me, if Pacquiao beats both of these guys, gets all those belts, it's gonna have an impact on both Crawford and Spencer's career. But you know what? I don't think it's gonna have as big of an impact as what people think. And if they're smart, if one of these guys or both of these guys fight Manny Pacquiao, they would try to throw some type of rematch clause in there. But I don't think Pacquiao is willing to sign a rematch clause. But if they're smart, they would try to sneak some type of rematch clause in there. Alexander Ford, Weather left the group. Alright, man. Alright, let's move on. I'll be back. Basketball Planet. He signed with Top Rank when he was a kid, not yet a champion. So S up. Manny don't fight kid like G-Weather. Listen, he signed with Top Rank because the money was right, not because of Manny Pacquiao. When he signed with Top Rank, he wasn't even at 147, so it wasn't to fight Manny Pacquiao. He might have had aspirations like Ryan Garcia and other young fighters to fight Pacquiao, but I don't think it was strictly to fight Pacquiao when he signed with Top Rank. And now he has the opportunity, so there are no excuses. What's the point of even bringing that up? Now all the cards and the chips are on the table. Just take the fight, and we can get what we all been wanting, and what he's seemingly been wanting. It's on the table now, so there's no excuse, or that shouldn't even be brought up really at this point. Eric Edwards, FYI, what part don't y'all understand? Earl don't want the Bud fight. Period. What does this have to do with Earl Spence? This has nothing to do with Earl Spence. We talking about Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Bud Crawford. Whether Earl Spence wants that Crawford fight or not has nothing to do with Terence Crawford and Bob Arum accepting Pacquiao's offer. You know what? And Earl Spence, all the balls are in his court. The offer's still out there for Crawford to fight Spence at a 60-40 split. He might not be getting the money he would get to fight Pacquiao, but I'm pretty sure that's still somewhere around $4 to $5 million for Earl Spence fight. So it's not like the fight's not on the table. So I appreciate your comment, Eric Edwards, but I can't agree with you. Alexander Ford, G Weather left the group. He just keeps dropping that same comment. I'm almost caught up here, y'all, and then we can move on to something else, man. Bobby Rick, Train Andy. I don't know what that means, bro. Holy Inferno. Crawford's style is bad for Pacquiao, but after seeing how Pacquiao handled Mayweather, Crawford not as defensively intact as such and have a weak chin. Evidently, I don't see how Crawford wins. Honestly, I totally agree. I'm not questioning his chin. I don't think he has the weakest chin in the biz, but I am questioning his resume and his the fact that he hasn't been up against greatness like Manny Pacquiao yet. And when we saw Keith Thurman go up against greatness, you saw what happened. When you saw Broner go up against greatness, you saw what happened. You saw Vargas go up against greatness. Hey, I can repeat myself all day. So I think we're going to see something spectacular from Manny Pacquiao when this fight happens and when this fight happens. I'll be back, says Andy Martinez. Someone told Garcia that Manny is Mexicutioner and Garcia Bell. Man, Mikey Garcia, man, he's just out of shape, man. He been eating them good tacos out there in Cali. He can't stop going to the taco stand, man. I was on his live the other day, and he was over knocking on the window trying to get some tacos. He wasn't in training, man. He was trying to get him some tacos. His man's hungry, man, and he got money now, so he's eating. Manuel Amara says, I understand boxing is a business, but don't put business first as your primary reason for fighting. UFC gets lower payouts, but could sell a fight. Which is true. You know, they base their paying, they base how they pay their fighters differently than boxing does. And that might be why they put more into promoting a fight. But I think this could be the reemergence of boxing. This could do a lot to help boxing. I think the business of boxing, once they get the business of boxing right, then they'll be able to make it more interesting for fans by crafting fights more toward what fans want to see through fixing the business of boxing. So I think it all ties in together. I appreciate that comment, though, Manuel Amara. KUYAJTV says, 4 thumbs up. I appreciate that, man. I hope you hit that like button for me. Almost to the end of the chat. No, we're not. I thought we was. Alright, Loreno Calabaro. Hello, good morning. Is it morning over in the Philippines? Well, because it's just now nighttime over here. I'm watching you live telecast. I love boxing. Manny is my favorite boxer all time. Thanks for your live telecast. Man, I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Hey, we just hit 100 likes. I've never gotten 100 likes on a live stream. It's been months and months and months since I've gotten 100 likes, period. If I could do a backflip, I'd definitely do a backflip right now for you guys, man. I appreciate that. Keep it coming, man. I hope all y'all have subscribed, and I'm glad, you know, all these Pacquiao fans are able to interact with each other, man, and we can break this news together. Let me move on real fast. I'm new to your Saga community says, Sega community says, I'm new to your channel. Stay blessed. I appreciate that. Saga channel community. I'm sorry, man. Saga community. Oh, man. Reading all these comments got my eyes hurt. But I appreciate you, Saga community, man, for coming through. Gabriel Benitez, do you will fight Pacquiao? I think he says, do you feel I don't know what he meant by that one, but I'm the Pacquiao fight with Crawford is supposed to be happening. I'm hoping it is going to go down. It's not official yet, but it's in the talks. Pacquiao's offered this man $10 million. He would be crazy to turn it down. Boy, Tool, mega love, shout out. Appreciate you, boy, Tool. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. I hope you hit that like button. I hope you subscribe, man. And be sure when you subscribe to hit the notification bell. So when I do go live or drop videos, you guys can be informed that I'm online. And you can go check it out, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Salute to everybody. Ruby Esmorero. Prime fighter Crawford versus Spence ducking each other, period. Can't do nothing but agree. You know, I hate to use that word ducking, but there's definitely a miscommunication when it comes to the money and why there's a 60-40 split going on between Crawford and Spence. Bobby Rick, this is the biggest fight of the year, period, if this happens. Man, it's definitely the biggest fight so far. It can only get better if Pacquiao wins because we could potentially get that Spence fight. So I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm so hyped up, I can't even feel like jumping out my skin right now. Giovanna Sehang. I hope I said your name right. Hey, man, you look like Crawford. Do you want to fight? Hey, man, that's not the first time I heard that. I look like Andre Berto. I heard I look like, God, what's his name? That Manny Pacquiao fight, that fought, God, I can't remember his name. I heard I look like Bud Crawford. God, why can't I remember his name? Well, man, I appreciate that, man. I've been called a lot worse in my life, so I take that as a compliment, man. Would I fight Pacquiao? If they're going to give me $10 million, I definitely would let Pacquiao knock me through the ropes. I should, straight up. Pac says, laugh my A off. Boy, 2, Pac-Man versus Triple G. Make it happen. We'll see, man. I think this is a big fight. It's a big money fight. But I think I'd much rather see Pacquiao take on Crawford than Triple G right now. If he makes it through Crawford and Spence, I would like to see that Triple G fight if he can't get a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. 19 Roman 62. Nobody wants to see Floyd fight anybody. Floyd should fight Spence or Crawford. Would be interesting, man. What if Pacquiao fought Crawford and Floyd fought Spence? And then said, hey, if I beat Spence, Pacquiao can fight me for all the belts. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Bonificio Garcia says, what's up? This is from Philippines. Hey, he wants. What's up, man? I appreciate you for coming through, Garcia. Bonificio Garcia, man. Shouts out to the Philippines. One love to everybody tuning in to the Philippines, man. Y'all make me feel real special, man, when I get all the love from the Philippines. All the way in Louisville, Kentucky. Man, I can't believe it. Pacquiao fans coming together across the world. Lily Barker, Crawford win 100%. Why you think Crawford's going to win 100%, Lily? I know I'm late to your comment, but why do you feel like that? Bobby Rick, Pacquiao don't need clout. LOL. Not at all, man. Not at all. D'Angelo beginnings. It's actually the opposite. Exactly. But if we go Pacquiao wants Crawford. Yeah, definitely. D'Angelo, Crawford stops Manny. I don't know, man. I think Manny might get with Crawford, though. I think he might bring the fight to him. Bud is the man to beat. What makes you think Bud Crawford stops Manny Pacquiao? And what round do you think Bud stops him in? And that goes for D'Angelo. Holy Inferno, Crawford haven't beat nobody. Can't do nothing but agree with you. D'Angelo says he gonna beat Manny though. Holy Inferno, Crawford got dropped by the Mean Machine. I've heard this several times. I gotta go back and watch that Mean Machine fight because I haven't watched it. But everybody says that Crawford got dropped by him, so I gotta go check that out, man, and do my research on that fight. Bobby Rick, Crawford chin is suspect. Bobby Rick going to be test when he fights Pac. If Pacquiao lands one of them big shots early on like he did on Keith Thurman, we definitely gonna see if Terence Crawford's chin holds up. Boxing Untitled PH. Haha, los. What does this los mean? Somebody gotta tell me what that means. Holy Inferno. I would never bet money on a guy that haven't fought elite competition. Go against someone elite. That's just dumb and stupid. I can agree with that, man. That would be kind of foolish, but hey, it's your money. Do what you want to do with it. Lily Barker, Davis beats anyone. Interesting. Vito Morosa, a good fight, man. It's better than a good fight. This is an awesome fight, man. I hope and pray that this fight actually happens, man. $10 million, $40 million for Pacquiao, potential $5 million for Bob Arum. You know, it's awesome, and I think he might be offering that $10 million because it would be $5 million or $6 million for Crawford, and then it'd be like $4 million for Bob Arum, just in case Pacquiao beats the crap out of Terence Crawford. Van Helsing, smells fishy. I think Arum will be asking for more money since Pacquiao lost the title. I would agree. I think Bob Arum definitely gonna counter offer him to about between $13 and $15 million, and Pacquiao probably ultimately end up getting somewhere around 35 million, which is ridiculous numbers. Bobby Rick, Crawford hasn't fought anyone at welterweight. Gotta totally agree. Ali Abdul Allah. No, I think it's Ali Abdul Allah. Manny beat Crawford and Spence. I completely agree with you. I appreciate you for coming through, Ali Abdul. Ted Salvador, history repeating like Hearns and Hagler. I hope so, man. I hope we get this. I appreciate you for coming through, Ted Salvador. Man, I hope you hit that like button. I hope you hit that subscribe button, bro. Janold Pacquiao win 100%. Appreciate that comment. Arnold, I think it's Arnold. Oh man, I lost myself in the chat. Bernard Giotto, Crawford and Uncle Bob ready for a truckload of, I don't know what that means. John, I appreciate the comment though, Bernard. John Canella, show your ability. I'll study and fight you later. That's Manny. True indeed. BNADK, let's go, Bud. Man, accept the offer, Bud. It's all in your court now. IQ 252. Are you serious? LOL. Holy Inferno. Not saying Crawford is not a elite fighter, but at the end of the day, he haven't fought no one. I mean, he doesn't have the names on his resume that a Pacquiao does. Nowhere near, or even a Spence. And Spence doesn't have like a huge number of elite names on his resume, but he has much more than what Crawford has, especially at the welterweight division. Vito says, plus make it happen. A good fight. It's going to be an awesome fight, and I think it is going to happen, man. I think we're going to get exactly what we want with this one, man. Those dollar signs, ain't no way Crawford and Arum can turn down those dollar signs. D'Angelo, Pac ain't beating Bud. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people in here disagree. I disagree with that. Jay Lucino, let's see in the ring. IQ 52, Manny going night. I don't know if Crawford got the IQ 252. I don't know if Crawford got the power to knock anybody of Manny Pacquiao's caliber out. John DeLacardo, you guys will be surprised when Pac beat Crawford, just like Bradley did. Just like Brady did in football. It's not the age, it's the IQ. LOL. Exactly. It's not the age, it's the IQ. It's the skill level. It's how you keep yourself up as you age. It has nothing to do with the number. BNADK, sorry, but Terence Crawford is going to retire Manny. Oh boy, I hope not, man. I hope it's the complete opposite of that, man. First of all, we got to get Terence Crawford to accept this fight. So if you got Terence Crawford's Instagram, his Twitter, if you're on his Facebook, y'all need to, as fans, y'all need to be berating this man with comments and just letting him know he needs to accept that. He needs to tell Bob Arum to accept this fight, man. Get this thing made before May. Brian Santos, thanks, Red. Let's go, champ. I appreciate that, Brian. Prince Myloros. I'm from Molina. Pac-Man just bluffed Arum to take 10, but Pacquiao will really fight Spence since he insulted him. Interesting aspect. I'm not sure if it's going to play out that way, but it definitely could. It could be a bluff offer, knowing that he's going to fight Spence already. But I think this is a legitimate offer, and I think $10 million, it would be really hard to turn down for Terence Crawford. June Canales. If Manny beat Crawford, he has no card to play, and that is why he keep his card. Exactly. It's going to be tough for Crawford to come back if he loses to Manny Pacquiao. It's going to be tough for him to make a case as a welterweight ever again. What you might see Crawford do is drop back down to 130 or leave welterweight altogether and go to 154 and try to make a claim at 154. D'Angelo Beginnings, this ain't football. Oh boy. Max Go, it's official or we speculating? He's officially offered Terence Crawford $10 million, and he would get a $40 million split. So Terence Crawford and Bob Arum would split $10 million. Manny Pacquiao would get $40 million. This is official. This is not a rumor. It's not speculation. This is official for Manny Pacquiao, Adi Attar, PBC, and anywhere else you check on the internet at the moment. Jay Lucino, not yet official. It's not officially signed, but it is officially offered to Terence Crawford. Yes, it is officially offered to Terence Crawford. It's not signed. It's officially offered to Terence Crawford. Juan de la Macard, D'Angelo, Lily Baker, Jack Baker, a big shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis. He's the man in boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis, if you listening, anybody know Tank Davis out there in the chat? Let him know that Lily Baker said, Jack Baker, a big shout out to Gervonta Davis. He's the man in boxing. So that's coming straight from Lily Baker. I appreciate your comment. Holy Inferno, Kell Brook moved down to fight Crawford. Mean Machine Arum haven't been champion since 2011. LOL. Max Go said, got you. Thanks, Jay. D'Angelo Beginnings, looks like I'm not the only one who knows that. The great Crawford is nothing to prove. Crawford is nothing to prove. I'm not sure what you said. The great Crawford will get his early retirement. I mean, he definitely has a lot to lose if he loses this fight, man. If he loses to Pacquiao, it might most definitely be over for Terence Crawford. But what a way to cash out of the sport of boxing. You fought Manny Pacquiao. You got $10 million. Hey, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a great fight. Holy Inferno, these young men not even fighting each other. It's shameful, bro. It's shameful, but hey, Pacquiao could really benefit from both of those fights. So it all plays right into Pacquiao's hands. Jay Lucino, Manny wants $40 million and offered 10 to Crawford. PNW 503, Best Coast. Pacquiao is still a threat at 42. Exactly. Still a threat, man. And these young guys don't even want to fight each other. Holy Inferno, Spence Crawford haven't beaten anybody at 140. Bernard Guerrero, Crawford not a pay-per-view earner. It's a lot of reason why he's getting that 60-40 split from Earl Spence. Earl Spence knows he's drawing in the crowd. He wants his money. Terence Crawford feels like he deserves more money, but he can't argue with the fact that he just doesn't sell pay-per-views. Raymond Anthony Chu. Hey Pac, teach these young ones how to not be a ducker. Straight up, Raymond. Straight up. I appreciate that comment. Shout out to you, bro. D'Angelo Beginnings. I'm done talking. Watch greatness. I can't wait for this. I hope this is what we get to see, man. I hope it's what we get to see. Greatness. Kush the greatest. Did Pac offer, or is he asking Bob for the 40 mil? The way I see it playing out is this. I think Bob Earl will probably have to pay Crawford the $5 million. Adi Attar and his team will end up paying Pacquiao his money, and then they'll split the gate. You know, the other $5 million for Crawford and Earl will come off the gate and pay per view. And I think off the gate, and I think they will split the pay per view. So he would actually get more than just $10 million. The $10 million would be his guarantee, and the $40 million would be Pacquiao's guarantee. And then they would split probably the gate and the pay-per-view numbers. The Great says Pac-Man lost or win, nothing to a shame, because he is not ducking like other fighters does. I agree, man. That if he wins or lose, man, that he has nothing to be ashamed of. I'm just proud of him for taking this potential challenge. Juan De La Carde, all the young bloods want Pacquiao. They don't want to fight their own prime. Can't do nothing but agree. Lily Baker, I'd fight Pac-Man for $10 million. Man, I'd fight him for $1 million right there, man. Tell you the truth. Bobby Rick, Crawford's pay-per-view numbers are laughable. Holy Inferno, Pacquiao is offering $10 million to Crawford. Yes, that's official. It's not officially signed, but he did officially offer him $10 million with a $40 million split. So Pacquiao will get 40, and Crawford will get 10. Kush the greatest. The interview was in Filipino. Jay Lucino, Pac wants 40, and okay, we covered that. Crawford pay-per-view numbers. All right, I'm trying to get through this. Shireen A's, WBA president will cry if Manny will beat Crawford. Ab wins the WBO belt. I think she meant Ann wins the WBO belt. They're going to be so upset with themselves for stripping that man of the title. It's going to be ridiculous. They'll try to give it back to him probably. D'Angelo begins because they scared. Brendan Castellino, pressure to Uncle Bob now to bite the bait, a big fish to catch. Man, I can't do nothing but agree with you, man. This would be a humongous, this would be a shark if Pacquiao lands this fight. Manuel Amara is a big advantage for Crawford. This is like a handicap matchup. No reason for Crawford to not to taking this fight, and no reason to lose. It's no reason for him not to take the fight, but if he loses, oh boy, where does Terence Crawford go from there? Trevon Hall, I guess Danny Garcia had crazy pay-per-view numbers. Ricardo Melroso, keep up the good work. I appreciate that, Ricardo, man. I'm definitely trying my best, bro, and I'm glad all the Pacquiao fans have a place where they can meet up, man, and voice their opinions. John Newson, laugh my A off. Who is you, and how long you been following Bud? Because it seemed to me you're just talking. Man, if you ask anybody, they will say, hey, Bud Crawford's resume is not that good. I mean, ask any real boxing fan to compare, or better yet, just go look at Spencer's resume and the champions or former champions that he beat. Go look at Crawford's resume, the champions and former champions that he beat, and you make a determination for yourself who has the better resume. Neither one of those guys can compare to Pacquiao, but they can. Crawford can't compare to Spence. Varndom 10, they are afraid to risk that L, both of them. I appreciate that comment, Varndom 10. Ryan Lamb, which steroids in Pac using for this fight? I don't think Pacquiao used steroids, man, but I think he definitely will look like he's on steroids as he's molly-whopping Terence Crawford. That's just my opinion, though. You go with who you like, man. Jamo. There's nothing Pacquiao can do to pass Floyd. To be honest with you, Jamo, I think he's already passed Floyd, if you ask me. But that's personal opinion right there. Now I lost myself in the chat. Where am I at? Ryan Lamb. Okay, that's where I'm at. Bobby Rick, 8th division champion, buddy. Exactly. He's already passed him, man. To me, he's already passed him. Whether you consider that better than going 8 divisions or longevity within the sport, that's up to you and how you perceive the sport of boxing. Verdum 10 million is the biggest payday Crawford in his entire career. It's actually double the biggest payday of his entire career. I would be surprised if he turns that down. Holy Inferno. Pacquiao broke 6 records. He's already past Floyd. Floyd haven't fought no prime Hall of Famer yet. Rematch any Hall of Famer. Exactly, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. King Mitch, y'all crazy if y'all think Bob has $50 million for Pac-Man versus Crawford. Bob's not going to have to put up all the money. Bob's going to have to put up a portion of the money, mainly Terence Crawford's portion. And then he'll recoup off the gate and off of pay-per-view. Bobby Rick, biggest fight of any fighter career, period. Bobby Rick, it's called Outside Investors. Exactly. Bob Arum definitely not going to be putting up. I'm pretty sure they already have the $60 million for those two guys. They're just going to have to agree on the split and the split of the pay-per-view and the split of the gate. So I'm thinking that's the only thing probably they're working out at the moment. King Mitch, by the way, that's an 80-20 split for Pac-Man. It's an 80-20 split, and that sounds bad, but since it's the biggest payday Terence Crawford has ever gotten in his life, I still don't see why he would turn that down, because it's twice what he's fought for all those other fights, and it's gonna be the biggest payday he's ever probably gonna get. Even if he fights Spence, he's not gonna get $10 million to fight Earl Spence. Even if he was the A side, he probably wouldn't get $10 million to fight Spence. Bobby Rick, the fights in Dubai. Varndom 10 says, so there's no reason. Oh, shoot. I lost myself again. So there's no reason Crawford ducked on this call. I hope not, man. Crawford will retire Pacquiao, says BNADK. I hope you're absolutely wrong, buddy. Red Gabbo, Pacquiao versus Crawford. Pac wins 70%. D'Angelo, another one. King match. Pac-Man didn't dominate Keith Thurman. Close fight. I don't consider that a close fight at all. I think Pacquiao knocked him down. He got up. He was up on the scorecards by the 6th round, and he just basically coasted through the rest of the fight. There was no need for him to go for a knockout and risk him possibly being knocked out himself. So he did what he had to do to win that fight, basically. He didn't have to dominate. He dominated, but he didn't have to go full bore and knock Keith Thurman out. The greatest, did Pac offer, or is he asking Bob Arum for the $40 million? No, he offered. Bob Arum doesn't have to put up that 40 or the 10 million, I don't think. I think the investors are putting up the $50 million for the fight. Bob Arum would have to do pay some promotional fees. I'm pretty sure he would have to put up some money for some promotion. But other than that, I think he would just be putting up promotional money. He'd be doing co-promoting duties. D-Ray, this is clickbait. Cap, salute to you in the chat, fam. No cap over here, bro. I don't know why you think I'm capping, but ain't no cap over here. It could possibly go down. It's been offered. Pacquiao is definitely offering him $10 million, and Pacquiao gets 40 if he wants to fight. It's up to Crawford at this point. Pac says, I think he will fight Triple G next because they are fighting in Dubai, which is they pay ton of money. We'll see, man. We haven't heard anything about him offering Triple G, but we did. The news is out there about this $10 million offer to Crawford. Bobby Rick Pacquiao offer. Bobby Rick Pacquiao has outside investors. Exactly. Marlon Joseph, the Pac will beat the Bud 100%. Much love to you, Marlon Joseph. Kush the Great, Bobby Rick, exactly, because I don't know where he got that money. I think Adi Attar is the one who's coming up, and his team are the ones that are coming up with the money. I think he has a team of investors. But if y'all remember, Pacquiao said about a year ago that he had a potential fight on the table for over there and had a group of investors. The fight just never got made. So I'm not surprised that the money has been there. But, you know, I'm surprised they're offering Bud $10 million. Bud by KO says, D-Ray, $10 million is laughable. Bobby Rick, Pac has the same management as McGregor now. This fight in Dubai. Straight up. I think that's the reason why there's so much money involved in it. D'Angelo, oh man, what did I do here? I lost myself in the chat again. I have no idea where I was at. Oh, God. There are way more comments here than I thought there were. Give me a second. Give me something to find myself. You can't do with a... Where was I at? I have no idea. I think I'm about to give up on the chat, man. There's too many There's too many comments here. And I done lost myself, so I have no idea where I was at in the chat now. It looks like Filipinos. Oh, man. Okay, I think I found myself again. I think I did. I'm not sure. I have no idea where I'm at. So we're gonna have to just go from the latest chat in the chat, man. So I'm gonna go back a little bit in the chat, but I done lost myself, so I have no idea where I was at. I'm gonna just find a spot and start from there. Sorry if I missed your comment, man. I apologize. I had a spot where I was at, and I think I found it. Crawford never fight Manny. Alright, we're just gonna start from here. D'Angelo begins. Crawford adapts to everyone's style by the fourth, then game over. Brian Santos Red is just behind his comment. LOL. What up, Red? What's up, Necessary? Hit the like button. Watching on my big screen. Head to comment on phone. Great channel. Go fight. What a fight. Pac is a legend. What a good fight. Can't wait for it. And that came from DLK. Man, I can't pronounce Scott. I just call you Scott, bro. G-Box said, what's up, G? What's up, G-Box? Appreciate the comment, bro. Brian Santos, Crawford has never fought Manny's style of fighting. Ezekiel Tapia, Red, if I was Crawford, I would take that fight before Spence does. Very interesting. It's a lot of money on the line right there. Brother Tagala, bruh, Brian Hill, literally on Facebook Live. Why did this get recommended to me? I don't know, but either way, he's stupid as hell for streaming on YouTube when he on Facebook Live. I don't know exactly what that means, but I appreciate your comment, bro. D-Ray, Manny Pacquiao, real champ. Straight up, man, straight up. Just by fighting Bud, the PBC duck. June Canales. Crawford and Spence is ducking each other while Pacquiao will fight them both. Just goes to show you, man. Just goes to show you how great Manny Pacquiao really is. D'Angelo, it's beginnings. Okay, my bad. Beginnings. Bennings. Oh, Bennings. Not bad. My bad. I don't know why I was seeing the extra G in there. It's Bennings, not beginnings. All right, my fault. Brian Santos. No, rather his live just really behind comment section. Rutherford, this guy only reads comments, no personality. Man, you just came in late, so I don't know. Hey, no power to you, bro. Be mad all you want to. I know one thing, Pacquiao gonna tap that Taz, so don't be mad at me that Pacquiao offered him $10 million and Pacquiao's getting $40 million. And hey, it is what it is. Appreciate the comment though. Bardak Tim Bakar, do you think Grandpa Bob will agree? He'll be crazy to turn this fight down, man. He would be absolutely insane because he's not gonna get this type of money for fighting Earl Spence Jr. D'Angelo, yes, rather Bryant, though there's a link for his Facebook Live in the description. First name, last name, Sponge Bobby. I think you are afraid that Earl Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford will lose if Pac fight them. I can see how worried you are. I think you got a lot of upset Crawford and Spence Jr. fans right now because they seriously didn't think Pacquiao would have the cojones to try to fight one of these guys, and not as his first fight. Rather, Brian, there's literally a link for the Facebook Live in the description. He shows or something. He's slow or something. Brian Santos, LOL. Maybe that's why he's behind on comments. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. I'm trying to figure out what is this Facebook Live link you talking about. And yes, I've been behind on comments for like 30 minutes, man. Once I hit 100 people in the chat, the comments just took off, and I couldn't keep up. But I appreciate everybody for coming through. So I'm gonna read off every last one of these comments, and because I really appreciate and I want to highlight everybody who came through. Bob frightened then Crawford. Got drama allergy. That's a good name. Got drama allergy. I'm late hearing is Manny fighting Bud. He offered Bud Crawford $10 million to fight him. Manny Pacquiao will get 40. Spence resume trash. Spence resume is trash, but compared to Manny Pacquiao's resume, but Bud Crawford's resume is pee-pee water compared to Manny Pacquiao's resume. Got drama allergy. Bud at lower weight is big resume. He does have a better resume at the lower weights, but we're talking about 147. D'Angelo, hold on. Bennings, not beginnings, Bennings. Bud stops Porter, Garcia, Thurman. Possibly. I don't know about Porter and Thurman, but Garcia definitely. I definitely see him stopping Garcia. This guy lame. Pac gonna lose. Stop streaming on YouTube if you gonna be on Facebook Live. Thirsting for views. I don't know who posted me on Facebook Live. I post to my Facebook group. I have a group on Facebook, but I didn't post this to that Facebook group. Obviously, somebody else posted it to that group. I didn't post it to that group. If you're talking about what's in my description box, that's the link for my Facebook group. Go look at the link. Go click on the link, and you'll see where it takes you to. So, no, I'm not actually streaming on Facebook. I could be. I could be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, but I don't because, I like streaming on YouTube. So, I don't know why you're assuming that, my friend, but I appreciate the comment. Stop streaming and lying to casuals. Don't be mad. Why you so mad, bro? You should be happy for this fight. If you're a Crawford fan, you should be thinking your guy's going to win and not upset that Pacquiao could possibly take this guy out here in the near future. Have some respect. If you don't like, leave. Have some respect. I appreciate that, God driver allergy. I appreciate you saying that, man. Straight up. I totally agree 100% with that, man. If you ain't down with this, then go on take a walk, homie. Necessary. Never, bro. Pack the real. GOAT. Gonna win if it be the most high will. Period. Bud needs to ditch Bob. He might be gone from Bob after this fight. If he loses, definitely he might not be with Bob too much longer. Douglas Wallace. Just want to see a great fight. Why are boxing fans worried about boxers' money? Don't care about the money, resume, or pay-per-view numbers. Not our business. Straight up. It's all about the fight, man. All about the fight. And if you think your guy's going to win, you should be 100% behind this fight. Because not only, if you're a Crawford fan, not only is he getting the biggest payday of his life, but he gets to face up with the biggest opposition of his career, and he's going to be uber famous if he wins. So you should be happy for this fight. Mikey Santos, Manny will knock out Crawford. Crawford will go down like sack of potatoes. Y'all, you what I am saying? PH. D'Angelo, all right, man, I'm gonna pass that one. Man, I keep losing myself with all these. First name, last name. There are a lot of TC fans here who is so worried about Pac right there. Hey, man, I appreciate all. Hey, we're going to take time right now and shout out to all you Crawford fans that's in here right now that are seriously hating the fact that Manny Pacquiao offered him $10 million, because if he turns this down, it makes all of y'all as Crawford fans and as Crawford supporters look horrible. It makes them look horrible. So, hey, man, you just need to get behind your fighter and hope your fighter accepts this $10 million A-whooping he about to get. A.T. Crawford declined the offer. A.T. Crawford declined the offer, only $10 million. It's not official yet, but I will go check to see if it is official, man. I'm going to check right now for you, my brother. Has it been updated that Crawford has declined Manny Pacquiao's offer? No reports of a decline to the offer yet, so I can't agree with you there, A.T. Jess Mayhan, Crawford will get his first loss. And I'm completely agreeing with you guys, man. Completely agreeing with you. I think this is going to be the fight that exposes Terence Crawford for what he really is. Let's see. Where did I get lost in the chat again? Alright, I think I'm found myself again. No matter what, I can never respect Spence or Crawford if they lose their O before fighting each other. This new generation is straight weak. Man, it's going to be horrible for if he loses, it's over for Terence Crawford if he loses, man. It's the end of Terence Crawford's boxing career. He will never be on that level again. Earl Spence will get to ride off into the sunset, get that Manny Pacquiao fight, win or lose. Earl Spence is going to have the better career if Crawford loses to Pacquiao first. It's going to be horrible for Crawford. Plus, he's over there at Top Rank, so he's going to have to leave Top Rank and go to PBC if he loses to Manny Pacquiao. Toe Bennett's TV on Manny's Prime. He beat all legends, and now he's is a legend, and he beat all in Prime. Very interesting way of looking at it. Toe Bennett's TV. Holy Inferno, rather talking this personal, rather. Do me one favor. Tell me who is the biggest Crawford opponent he beaten so far. I'll wait. I would have to say it's Jeff Horn, because Jeff Horn actually held the title when Crawford beat him. D-Ray, the chat fam by TK. Hey man, the chat won over an hour ago, man. I've been ready to give up on it, but you know I'm trying to make sure everybody get their shine before I get out of here. Alright, man, I'm heading out. Good in live stream. See y'all. Thanks. I appreciate that, Pat. Hit the like. I appreciate that, Pat. Necessary red win. Pat beats Bud. Who do you think he should fight next? And who do you think he will really fight next? Will he go for the big check or another legacy fight? Basically, should he take the Floyd or Spence fight? If he beats Crawford and he beats him decisively by knockout or just dominates him, of course he should go for that Spence fight, because the Spence fight brings on the Mayweather fight. If he beats Crawford and Spence, it's going to be an automatic trigger for Mayweather to come out of retirement. I'm damn near 100% sure of that one. David Wolf Gaming, 10 million, such a big money for Crawford. The last fights he not even reached 5 million. That's the old legend, and more achievements than him. That's totally true, man. I don't see him turning this fight down simply because they are offering him $10 million. It's going to be real hard for him to turn down $10 million. Rich Moles, it's true. Crawford has rarely faced a high caliber fighter, but he has fought, and everyone in front of him went down. A Pac-Man can beat. I also a Bud. Can I want to see? I would say, yeah, definitely. He hasn't fought the best competition, but he did fight everybody they put in front of him. But hey, if you're fighting garbage men, you would probably beat them all too. AT, 2 years inactive in boxing, then he wants Crawford. Wrong move. It could definitely backfire on him. I'm not going to disagree with that, but he obviously has been staying in shape, or he wouldn't take this fight. So I'm totally confident in Manny Pacquiao pulling this off. Mikael Santos, Manny still in good shape, 147. I just read an article that said Manny Pacquiao himself said he's walking around 153, 154 right now, which is a very interesting number, because he could just walk in there and fight Triple G if he wanted to at 154, because it's what he's walking around at. But I think he's already in fight shape, and he's ready to go. Holy Inferno, bro, if Pacquiao fights Crawford and Spence, I'm done with boxing. Can't respect these Mayweather Junior Duckers. Completely true, man. Completely. Alejandro Cruz, what happened, Broda? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Think Tank. You can never put down a warrior's heart. Exactly, man. Exactly. You can't go against Manny Pacquiao when it comes to this fight. Obviously, he knows something that we don't know about his conditioning, and I think he's ready for this fight right now. But it's going to be even more ready in 2 months when it actually goes down. Hopefully, Chief Iron Cow. It would be foolish for Bud not to take that offer. Ultimately, the true problem of boxing, aka Bob, has to okay it. Exactly. It's all up to Bob Earl right now. Is he willing to risk this? Is that split something he can be happy with? I don't see why he wouldn't be happy with the money. I think the possibility of Crawford being beat would be the thing that stops Bob Earl from saying yes to this fight. I don't think it would be the money keeping him from saying yes. It would be the possibility of him actually losing. Uh, G Box. What? Hold on. Fotex Lack. Who got Usman or Burns? Who you got? Usman or Burns? I gotta check that out, man. I don't want to touch on it right now, bro. Hopefully I'll do a video about it. Chief and I got that one. G Box. What will you feel, bro, if Manny fights Mikey Garcia next? If Manny fights Mikey Garcia next, I would be extremely disappointed. Simply because how could you offer Terence Crawford $10 million and you get 40, or you even have that type of money on the table, and you're making those type of offers, and then turn around and then fight Mikey Garcia? So I would say Mikey Garcia, after him offering this type of fight and this type of money out there, is completely off the table. So I'm not even worried about a potential Mikey Garcia fight next. David Wolf Gaming, just blame Bob Arum if this fight not going to happen. Exactly. That definitely would be some involvement by Bob Arum if this don't go down. Paul Yagub. Paul Yagub. Yes, send Manny Pacquiao deserves $40 million. Exactly. Brian Santos. I disagree with the Mayweather coming out of retirement because May won't even fight Bud or Spence. He does if he does come back. I would never think Mayweather would fight Bud or Spence. That wouldn't even cross my mind. Because they wouldn't generate the type of money a Manny Pacquiao rematch would generate. He would only come back because Manny Pacquiao is going to be generating a certain amount of dollars signs for him. It wouldn't be because he thinks it's better competition, or he thinks Spence and Crawford aren't good competition. It has nothing to do with the competition. It has everything to do with the dollar signs. David Wolf Gaming, in the end, is going to be a legendary fight. And that is the last comment. Oh my God. First of all, the comment fight was over like an hour and a half ago, so I'm surprised I got through all those comments, but I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. We got 148 likes. We got 123 people still in the chat right now, man. If you guys have anything else to say regarding this fight, man, I would appreciate y'all to go ahead and drop it in the chat right now. As far as the official news about this, okay, let's do a recap. Manny Pacquiao has officially offered Terence Bud Crawford $10 million to fight him. Manny Pacquiao will get $40 million. The fight allegedly would take place May 15th in Dubai. Yes, that is official. The offer has been made. No speculation, no cap. If you are a Crawford fan, if you're a Pacquiao fan, this should really excite you. You should really be amped up about this. It could possibly go down. Is this a dangerous fight for Pacquiao? It's extremely dangerous. Haven't seen him in over a year and a half, but when we last saw him, he not only beat a champion in Keith Thurman, he dominated a champion in Keith Thurman, and to win another championship belt, the super title. So a lot on the line in this fight, man. Pacquiao could potentially gain that WBO belt from Crawford. He could potentially make a huge payday off of this. This could really potentially revive the sport of boxing if it goes down, man. So you should do nothing but be excited about this, man. Brian Santos says, LOL. G-Box says, remember Manny's tweet, legacy. I think he is not just talking about his next fight. He is talking about sweeping the welterweight division and will try to be undisputed. And I completely agree with that right there, man. It has been a doozy of 2.5 hours. Michael Daniels, bet on your own brother. Pac-Man got his country behind him. Believe me, I know, bro. I know, man. And I think just based off how many people came and interacted with this chat right here, man, I can tell there's a lot of fanfare behind this fight, man. This is going to be one of the biggest fights that boxing has seen in the past 5 to 10 years, maybe since the Maypac fight. So I'm extremely excited for this, man. I hope you guys are extremely excited for this. Once again, please hit the like button if you haven't. Please subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can be informed when I go live, when I drop videos. Capson 4G, my brother, my big homie. Salute Capson 4G. We got 134 people in here right now. Everybody who is not Capson 4G, so that leaves 130 some odd people. Go support my homie Capson 4G. He's a real one. Does great Manny Pacquiao boxing talk. Does great boxing talk, period. Should be having a live stream with him coming up pretty soon. Once we work out all the bugs and get everything, all the I's and T's done up really nicely for you guys. So appreciate you for coming through, Caps and Full, man. Salute to you. Did you drop that video, Caps? Because as soon as I get off here, I'm going to go check it out, man. I think things is winding down. I'm about to get off here. Let me know if you dropped that video, Cap. Yeah, definitely got to get out for it, man. I've been out here too long. Got a lot of people that have texted me. I need to go take care of some stuff, man. So once again, man, appreciate y'all for coming through. You got any final words? Go ahead and type them in the chat. Type them in the chat. If you guys, for everybody who's left in here, yes, sir. Okay, I appreciate that, Cap. I'm going to check that out now. For anybody who's left in here, we got 116 people in here right now. If you want your channel, if you have a channel, you want to be featured on one of my live streams, you see where I'm playing all this content up here in these 2 boxes. I will put your channel in one of these boxes and feature your channel. If you would like to have that done, man, just contact me through the WhatsApp or contact me through the comment section or the community section. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you can find me, and we can try to work something out to where I can feature your channel. JT Mix, Pac-Man gonna win versus Crawford. Gang X, what's good with you, gang? Can't wait to see you and Caps and 4G go live together, man. I'm trying to put it together. Every time, the past 2 times I'm trying to do it, man, it just wasn't working out right. Y'all saw when I tried to go live earlier, it wasn't working out right, so I had to do some things behind the scenes. It's a little more difficult doing a 2-person live than a single person. So give me a little while. Hopefully we can work it out. Maybe get it done tomorrow at some point. Hopefully. Sandro J, you got Ungaz Ka. I'm not sure what that means, but Ungaz Ka. Shouts out to you, Sandro J. Mandy Ringma. Manny Pacquiao won. If ever fights again, Bud Crawford, he will win. I'm guessing that's what they're saying. First, last, Manny had hands put on him by Jeff Horn. Say what you want to about the Jeff Horn fight, man. It was a complete debacle. A lot of people believe Pacquiao won. Some people believe Horn won. I believe personally Pacquiao won. It is what it is. But I do know one thing. If it wasn't for Pacquiao being cheated during that Jeff Horn fight, Terence Crawford would not be a champion. So, hey, it is what it is. Bud's Jala says, hope Bob Arum will bite $50 million to both of them for sure. He gonna ask for a discount. My boy. You know him, man. Capson 4G, gang, thanks. Capson 4G, man, go check him out, man. I think I'm finna get out of here, man. I hate to leave when there's 109 people in the chat, but man, I'm all out of breath. I'm a little hungry. I'm tired from reading all these comments, man. I definitely will be back on here, and we'll be interacting with you guys and making a lot more content around this fight once new news does drop. Pac says, be respectful, please. Yes. Everybody, please respect the chat, man. Be respectful to everybody in here. We all Pacquiao fans or just boxing fans in general. So respect each other, man. We can have a good conversation and a respectful conversation at the same time. So, respect everybody, man. We all human beings, man. Ain't nobody better than nobody in her. With that being said, if nobody else has anything else to say, I'm about to get out of here, man. Once again, thank everybody for coming through. Thank everybody for coming through. 155 likes, man. I've never hit, that type of like ratio in my channel's history. I really appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love. Lets me know what I'm doing is working, and you guys appreciate it, man. So, salute, salute, salute. If we get to 160 within the next minute, I'll get back on here later on tonight, and we'll try to drop some more news. So let's see if we get to 160 before 8:11. Let's see if we can get to 160. I'll jump back on her in about 3 hours, man. 3 or 4 hours. We got about 30 seconds. Can we get to 160 likes in 30 seconds? Somebody uppercut that like button. Pacquiao that like button for me, man. Let's see if we can do it. We need one more. We got like 10 seconds left. Give me one more like. We got it, son. We got it, man. We out here. Hey, I'll be back on here, man. Give me about 3 or 4 hours. Give me till about 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I'm going to jump back on here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Straight up. That ain't nothing but love right there, man. That ain't nothing but love. Straight up. I'll be back on here later on tonight, man. I'm getting the hell up out of here, dude. Salute to y'all. A1, Manny Pacquiao, the realest. He is the GOAT. He gonna smash on Terence Crawford when it's going down May 15th, man. May 15th, it is going down. The $40 million announcement. It's going down. We out of here, son.